All right, we are here. We are good to go. Hello, how are you? Good?
What up?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm good, man. Yeah.
Moving along. No, I'm fucking with you.
Wow.
Uh,
Well, welcome to episode 47.
47, baby. We did it. We're almost there. We're almost there at the big 5-0.
Hey,
Hey,
good thing it's
hey.
not our age.
Yeah.
'Cause-
That's,
anyways,
I just had a brief moment of existentialism right there. Like, fuck.
I was just like, God, man, this is really crazy. All right. Yeah, back to talking.
Who? I don't want to think about old age. Continuing on, let's talk about other shit that doesn't have to do with dying.
True, true, true.
What you got? What you do in these 2 weeks?
Um, so I'm gonna start off with the small stuff, which is watching things because I didn't do a lot of that.
You didn't watch anything?
Yeah, I played a lot more games than I watched, honestly. Which I feel pretty good about.
Okay.
Um, I watched the finals for League of Legends.
Didn't
Which
Faker win?
he did win. That's really weird that you know that because I don't expect you to know these
So,
things.
so you want to know the hilarious thing?
Go ahead.
I know I mentioned on like the Discord that I was like, oh, I'm looking for like a new gaming mouse and shit like that. I guess that was also part of my week from 2 weeks ago. Is that like I got like a new gaming mouse, so I was like looking up like different brands and shit, and obviously the biggest ones are like Razer. So on a lot of the Razer's ads, it's like, don't take our word for it. Take the word of biggest MMO. No, what is it? Is it
MOBA.
MMO? MOBA? It's MOBA.
MOBA.
Yeah, the biggest MOBA player, Faker, and it's this
It's on their
Korean guy.
site.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you look up for like Razer, like a bunch of Razer ads were like popping up in my social medias because I was looking for mice. I gotta
Oh,
really
I like that.
delete my cookies, but like, um, but yeah, he kept coming up of just like, check out the mouse that he uses is for pro gamers, and I'm just like, I just want to play my dumb first person shooters, but better with my mouse, all alone in my room, single player.
Um,
But yeah, like I just know that like Faker is like a huge name.
yeah, he's such like I mean, I'll never know him in person. I don't know the guy himself really, but he seems very genuine and like a very like good public figure in
Mhm.
Korea. So
Yeah.
he seems like a cool guy. Uh, but he did win. His team T1 won. I think it's been a while. I don't have like the stats and stuff on it, but they were talking about it during the show. I think it had been like maybe 4 years since they had won a title, maybe longer.
Hmm.
Um, but interestingly enough, the team that went up against them, which is Weibo Gaming, um, they uh, were seen as like not a very good team. Somehow beat everybody on the way there,
Hmm.
and then lost to T1 3-0. So they didn't even get a game on them. And they looked really bad. So ultimately, I guess what I'm saying is, I think they were actually just bad, and the other teams that were better just happened to play worse on those days.
They
Uh,
were just the worst team.
well,
Jesus.
so here's the thing, right? All the teams in the finals were Korean and China. It was China and Korea,
Mhm.
the two teams that were 4-4 or 4-3, and then one of the teams was North America. But that wasn't like, of course, like nobody had a real like feeling that they were even gonna make it anywhere.
Yeah.
They played, they lost. It is what it is. I think actually they might have played against Weibo. I can't remember, but regardless, the whole thing was that everybody failed. Weibo made it. T1 was like shaky because during the season they had looked kind of bad. But it's T1, like they're almost like the myth, the legend, right? Like
Mhm.
you're just always gonna never count them out. You're always gonna think, well, there's a possibility they still win. So and that's what they did. They just proved everyone wrong again. Showed why they're great. Faker quite literally is the best player of League of Legends ever, and
Has
that will
he
probably never not be true.
Has he been there for years
Yep,
or?
he's
Okay.
been there. I don't know if since the beginning is right, but at least I think season 3.
This is so weird because like I obviously don't know anything about like esports and specifically the MOBA genre.
Mhm.
So it's like seeing these random names pop up is just like check out uh Goon Man, the best league player, and I'm just like I'd never heard of that guy. He's like he's been playing for years. Goon Man, and it's like all right.
You're right. Like Mind Goblin's pretty cool, right?
Yep. Sure. Yep.
Uh, anyways, so the other thing I watched was an actual show, and it was Loki. I didn't finish complete season 2. I think I got halfway through.
Adjust my
So
camera.
so
Yeah.
far not bad. It doesn't have that like same mystery, I guess, as the first one, because the first one you were going in blind, and you were like, what's going on here? You're slowly getting pieces put together.
Mm.
And in the second season, you know the cast, you know what they're doing.
Yeah, I know who Loki is. I know who Tom Hiddleston is.
And well, also you know who the bad guy is. So like you're like, oh okay, like I already know what they're setting up, you know. I
You know
guess unless
Yeah.
you don't pay attention to the rest of the like MCU, then maybe you don't really understand everything. But because I watched everything, I just get it. So it doesn't feel as I don't know. I think I'm taking it slower this time because it doesn't feel as investing to me. Like I don't feel as invested in it, I guess.
In the show.
But it's still good for what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't started up Loki like at all, but it's so weird because of like what's happening like behind the scenes with the whole thing with Jonathan Majors and like what exactly their plans are to do with this whole thing going
Yeah.
on. It's just like I kind of like given up.
I don't know if you plan on watching that at all, but I'm gonna try to watch the trial if there's an opportunity to.
Okay.
He. So the problem I'm having with this is they were so swift to discount or discredit uh Johnny Depp that I really hope they don't do that again. Because Jonathan Major, in my opinion, is perfect for Kang, especially the way they've used him already to be him.
Mhm.
I don't see like why he wouldn't be a good representative of that character.
Yeah.
But with that said, like you know, if there's extenuating circumstances, as far as like um outside of the actual TV show or movies, with his own life, then sure, like maybe they need to make a change, but they should give the guy like the benefit of the doubt and like at least let his stuff go to trial first and figure that out first. They shouldn't just like axe him based off of somebody saying something, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
And that goes for anybody. Like I don't think anyone should lose their job right
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. I mean, it is the idea of like innocent until proven guilty. So, yeah, we'll just have to see.
Yeah, it is Disney, so they're good at axing people real quick and then noticing they've made a mistake. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But overall, like Loki, good. Would still recommend, and am excited to watch. I think Deadpool's the next thing coming out. They said the only thing coming out next year for Marvel.
Okay. Yeah, because like that got
They got the actors thing resolved as well.
Yeah. I think I forgot to put that down as one of the things, but yeah, the actors
I thought that happened last week. No,
was it? I don't remember.
I can't remember. I thought we talked about it. If we didn't, it's okay.
By the way, I guess just to like sum it up, yeah, the actors got their deal, so now they're resuming production with certain shit. Good luck. Good luck. What else you got?
I got a bunch of games.
Games?
Yeah.
Video games? How dare you?
Yeah. So I think I talked to you about this. I started streaming again and trying to like actually get that not. I guess the word going is good, but like
Mhm.
I just wanted to start doing it again because I haven't done it in a while, and like I don't know. If I'm gonna be playing games, might as well like try to interact with people.
Yeah.
Um, so
Did you run into any
the
bots yet?
yeah, actually. So I I got a message for fake viewers. It was like, hey, if you would like fake viewers,
Click
this is
this
the
link.
site. Yeah.
Yep. Click this link
And
right now.
then the other thing I noticed is like I've had people like in and out of the stream, and I was like, oh, okay. So I looked at the viewer list, and I googled some of the names that were consistent every like couple days or whatever, or every single day possibly too. And
Mhm.
it's bots. I
Yeah.
looked it up. It's bot accounts, and there are like uh 8,000 pages of these bots that you can go through and see like these are all bots that are just like weird. I don't know why. I don't know why they're on because they're not messaging me. They're just there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're botting. It might. I think something said like maybe they're trying to get like rewards or something. But I'm like, my account doesn't give you rewards.
Yeah, I
So
genuinely don't know the reason either because I do still get that too. I was just
yeah.
like, yeah, that shit. But
Um.
what have you been streaming though?
Yeah. So the ones I'm trying to keep consistent with are 3 games because I want to. The thing that I also like kind of did streaming for was kind of like force myself to get through my entire Steam library
Mm,
because like I have so many backlog games I'm just never gonna play. I figured if I put like a schedule to it, I'll finish them up.
same, bro.
So
Mm-hmm.
I did Hydrophobia so far. I haven't finished it, but it's on schedule to be finished. Which
Hydrophobia is that the survival horror game
it's not a horror game.
or like a
Uh,
survival game?
Hydrophobia is
All I know it's like a lady stuck in like a thing and then
you're
water.
in a you're in a building.
Okay.
You are like a technician, I think. I don't really know what she is. That's probably my own bad memory.
Mm-hmm.
But she starts out in like her housing area, which I guess is kind of attached to where she works.
Mm-hmm.
She's it's almost like she's in a space station, but she's on a planet. And then because it looks like when you're going through it looks very like space stationy to me, the inside and stuff, and like they keep talking about getting to an escape pod, but they're clearly on a planet again. So she goes into an area after being in her housing area, and like she's talking about going to work, and this guy is on the comms with you. By the way, this dude said some of the most like weird shit ever. Like I don't know, very 1990s type of weird shit, and like in the I can't explain it. Anyways, don't worry about it. So, he's just really weird. I can't remember. I should have written some of the quotes down that he said. But anyways, so like the whole thing is like you're trapped in this building. The water is either rising or you're just constantly in water. That's where the I guess the hydrophobia part comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's made clear in the beginning that she was like a very good swimmer. I believe she competed in school or something like that. Was like the best in her class, whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, going into it, I'm like, oh, okay, so our character like
Can
isn't fucking
swim.
scared. She's just
Can
good at what
swim.
she does. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You get a gun, so you fight people. Um, and basically like you're fighting against like a terroristic threat inside of your community. And trying to save people from essentially dying and like this like terrorist group getting some type of scientific information.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it has to do with like nanobots or something. Again, I'm not completely through it. I'm at like Act 3, which I think might be the end, but I don't know. So, game's pretty good.
Okay, because I think I played the demo when it was on like PS3. Because I'm pretty sure they did like some kind of like Redux or something like that on PlayStation 3, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that demo was like a long ass time ago, so I don't really remember anything from it.
I didn't even know. I gotta see if this is on PS3.
Uh huh. So what else you got?
Um, Wow, it came out on PS3 and Xbox 360.
Yep.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. The next game I played on my Steam library that I was going through is Rainbow Six Vegas. Holy shit.
Is that a good holy shit?
Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas is dog shit.
Oh.
And it's not because like it's a bad game.
Mm.
It's because of the fucking age.
Like
it has not aged well.
Just how it looks visually? Or how it plays. Wait, you said not
how it plays. There's
okay.
no like running.
Mm-hmm.
You're a I don't know, some type of
squadron.
Some type of team that like goes in and gets out.
Some kind of Rainbow Six.
Yeah. You're just going in, you're killing people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know the area I start out in. I would call it Afghanistan. I honestly don't know. It's a desert.
Wait, it's not even Vegas?
You go to Vegas.
Okay. Eventually you get to Vegas. But first you got to go to Afghanistan.
I'm going to be real too. I don't know any of the story. I haven't paid attention really. The game voiceovers are very loud. I had to turn them down. Now they're very quiet. But the shooting is like okay, but the aiming's pretty jank. And then like I said, you can't run. The other thing I noticed is I just got to Vegas. You can hold a shield in your hand and shoot. Which like I'm not mad about that. That's actually like pretty comfortable on the fingers on how to do that.
Mm-hmm. Are you playing all this in keyboard and mouse, right?
Keyboard and mouse, yeah. All of this is keyboard and mouse.
Okay.
I don't know. It's not a terrible game. Like I'm going through it and like I'm enjoying it slightly. I think I'd rather just not play it honestly, but I'm still gonna beat it just be able to be like, I did it. I have like fucking like 3 or 4 remote games in the series that I'm not excited to go to, but at least they're newer, so maybe it'll be better. Like Splinter Cell's in there too, so we'll see.
Oh yeah, something I played this year.
I don't think we're talking about the same Splinter Cell.
Are you talking about Blacklist?
Nah. I'm talking like some old ass one.
Yeah, the original Splinter Cell, right?
Oh, maybe you're talking an older one than I am then. I'm not sure.
Which Splinter Cell?
I don't know. I have to pull it up, man. I don't know if I have my Steam open.
Just open up your Steam, bro. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. Just do it.
Splinter Cell Conviction.
Oh. Oh. I'm actually going through that one like now-ish, but on Xbox.
Oh, how is it so far?
Because there's 2 different versions. I'm doing the Xbox version. So this is weird. Well, no, I'm actually misremembering this. No, Splinter Cell Conviction is the Xbox 360 game that came out, I think, on PC as well. I'm thinking about Double Agent. I think it's the other one. So Double Agent is the one that I'm currently playing. Conviction is like the one that came out where like I think Xbox needed a like some kind of exclusive game, so it's like, all right, Ubisoft, give us Conviction. And yeah, if you have like no prior knowledge of what the fuck is going on in Splinter Cell, I don't know if you'd get anything from the game, because I believe that's like the 4th. No, that's the 5th one in the series, I think. So
yeah, I mean, all these games were bought because they were like $1 at some point. So
yeah, I would recommend like original Splinter Cell. It is pretty good. I don't know how it is on PC, specifically like the Steam version.
Yeah.
The one I really liked from what I played was, I want to say it was Pandora Tomorrow. No, Pandora Tomorrow was not it. It was Chaos Theory. That's the one. That's the third game, because they did like more cool shit you can do in stealth. Like it felt a lot better than the first game and the second game. The third game was like a big change. But my little spiel that I'm going on is that like Double Agent was a weird time of Splinter Cell where they were doing 2 different versions of it, where it was like the Xbox original version and the Xbox 360 version. So apparently those 2 play very, very differently. and I think PC got the 360 version from what I remember. Um, I I I don't know which one's the bad one. I want to say it might be the Xbox original one, but I could be wrong. There was a whole video that I watched from a YouTuber by the name of Critical Nobody. He's like a huge avid fan for Splinter Cell, so like he did like a whole video of like explaining like how each series is essentially and how they've aged. I think that, but that video is like maybe like 2 to 3 years old at this point. I really recommend it if you're like interested in anything about Splinter Cell. But as for like Tom Clancy stuff, yeah, Splinter Cell, Chaos Theory is like the shit. It's really good.
Okay.
Even on Xbox, like that's how I played it. It was pretty good. Oh, that was the other reason why I enjoyed it, was because quick saving was a thing that existed just in the third game, because for some reason the other two games did a checkpoint system. I don't know if it's still on PC if you had quick saving option, but holy shit, the checkpoints were like so bad in the original ones, because I got to a point where I felt like I got stuck.
Vegas has checkpoints, and I'm not a fan.
Yeah, it's not great.
I would way rather be able to like save and hop off whenever I want. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like I guess pacing is fine. It's whatever.
Yeah, because like for the first Splinter Cell, it just felt like the entire time I was like, all right, when do I get to the next checkpoint? Because like this shit is going on for way too long.
Yeah.
So have fun with exploring the Tom Clancy verse.
I'm only doing these 2 games. I'm not gonna go out of my way to buy more.
I hear good things about Future Soldier, for what I know.
Future Soldier was Ghost Recon?
Yes.
Yeah. I played those when I was a kid. I really did enjoy those when I was a kid too.
Okay.
I might come back and play those actually now that you said that. The next one I had played, so I'm still playing these 3 currently. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. And this was supposed to get a remake. We had talked about this previously, that they're not making it yet, or they're not
it got
releasing
moved. It got moved in house because originally it was part of Ubisoft Mumbai,
right?
and development was not going well. Yeah.
This game, I would way rather be playing a fucking remake. Holy shit. It's pretty bad. I remember.
You're saying very controversial things from what I've heard is like a lot of people's favorite game.
That's fine. And like, I would also say it's one of my favorite games.
Be careful out there. Just be careful with what you say.
Listen, man. Have your opinion.
This game's ass, according to.
I didn't listen. I'm not saying it's ass. Like,
but it's cheeks.
It's the same thing. Shut the fuck up. So, let me explain. So, when I was a kid, I enjoyed it, right? Backward in time, slow time down, reverse time, right? Reverse yourself dying, blah, 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 blah. Very cool things. You can poke them, steal their sand from their fucking bodies, steal sand from the ground. You're very Sandman. It's very cool. That's a cool part of the game, but its graphics over time has not held, is what it is. And that's the same shit could be said for an 8-bit game, right? Like, obviously graphics are never going to hold. It's not always going to be someone's favorite.
It's usually 3D graphics that are the ones that don't tend to hold relatively well, but depending on which one that you view. Because it's funny.
But I mean, like, if you look at like Final Fantasy VII, I'm not saying it's 8-bit, but like that wasn't great. And then you look at FF7 remake, like it just feels better, right?
I mean, but it's like saying, oh, this hot dog does not compare to this filet mignon that I'm eating currently.
Well, you might have a problem there too, because I do like hot dogs, and I don't know about filet mignon, brother.
Wow, a simple man, but with
yes,
controversial opinions.
Listen, I like what I like. I'm not, it doesn't matter. Like, you like what you like, you know. Again, so an overall like fine game. It just feels dated for sure. Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of things they could like improve on. Like, your only healing is going to a water station.
Yeah. I didn't get that far in the original Prince of Persia.
You didn't get how far?
I didn't get. I want to say I only got through like the tutorial section, and that was basically it. And then just never
Oh,
went
I was
back.
about to say, dude, the water's like out the door.
Yeah, no, because like the thing was is that there was multiple times I've started playing this game. I even bought this game multiple times, because originally what was it? I got it for PlayStation 3, the HD remaster that came out. But apparently for some reason there was like a weird bug that was happening where stuff was like audio was just desyncing, and
Hmm.
I was just weird. It was bizarre. Same thing happened actually. I want to say for no, that's a lie. Never mind. It was just for that game. Um, so yeah, I didn't know what was going on, so I was like, all right, I guess I'll just play it on my PC. But then I ran into the issue of like, oh wait, I have to figure out what buttons were what so I can like assign it to a gamepad. But then I just never did that. And then lo and behold, I forgot I had a copy of the game on PS2, so I was just like, all right, I'll eventually play this, and I just never went back to play Prince of Persia. But funny enough, like I want to say I have like the majority of them of the Prince of Persia games because there was the original trilogy, obviously.
Yep.
There was that Xbox 360 PS3 game that came out, the new one. And then out of nowhere was that movie tie-in game, just out of nowhere. Do you not
Was that
remember
Two
this?
Brothers?
No, it's called Forgotten Time or Forgotten Sands, something like that. But
By
it
all means.
but it came out during the same time as the movie, so it was just bizarre. And
I
then
do have the Forgotten Sands.
yeah, so the weird thing, well, not the weird thing, but like obviously I never played the original Prince of Persia, like the 2D side-scrolling platformer. So it's only the 3D ones that I know most of, but yeah, it's just one of those series I just never went back
Oh
to.
my god, he looks like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
cannot wait to play this.
Yeah, I have it on Xbox, so it's
I
like,
have every Prince of Persia game on Steam apparently, except for the original, like what you were just side scrolling.
you know what's weird? Xbox had the backwards compatibility for the first three Prince of Persias, and then you could have bought them on Xbox, but then I guess it's just like the licensing thing that Xbox has that now
Yeah.
those games are not on there anymore, so you can't play them on Xbox unless you have the physical disc. So,
Oh, so if you owned them digitally, you couldn't play them?
uh, I mean the original games there was no way of getting them digitally technically. So for Xbox backwards compatible stuff
Yeah.
because they only works for the original Xbox games because those were that's how
You
the
had to have
game.
the disc, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I am excited to play the rest of them and see how it is. I
Hmm.
think the first one is just old, and that's probably why I don't like it.
It just
With
sucks.
that said, I'm still gonna play through it, and then I might change my mind. I highly doubt
Hmm.
it.
Gotcha.
Uh, other things I played were two scary games.
Scurry.
I haven't beaten these either, but or actually I beat one of them, but I haven't beaten the other one. So
Mm.
the first one that I didn't beat is called Devour. Um,
It,
and
I forget. Is that a multiplayer co-op thing?
yep.
Okay.
So as a team of up to four, you can run around. The first one that we played was a house, and a lady chasing you, and you have to sacrifice goats. And once you sacrifice 10 goats, you beat it. Um, so the first time we did it, sacrificing goats was tough. We got to like 7 goats, and then she found us.
Hmm.
So she chases you. You have a flashlight, and you can stun her with the flashlight. You stun her 3 times, and she stops chasing you altogether. You can kind of walk by her and stuff, but if she gets re-aggroed, which killing a goat or sacrificing a goat re-aggroes her, and if you stare at her, it re-aggroes her, which I'm wonderful at staring at people in games because I'm fucking stupid. Uh, so there's so many times I did that. It's really fun. I had a lot of fun playing with a homie, and um, I'm trying to think. Like we beat it, but we needed someone else's help. And like before the person came in and helped us, we had already figured out like what we actually should do is what you have to do to open all the doors in the house is find keys around the house.
Hmm.
So we were like, before we even sacrifice the goat and get aggro on her, we should find all the keys. that's true. You should. And then the next step was, well, now that we opened all the doors, we should get all the goats, and you can lock the goats in a room.
Mhm.
So when you go to grab another one to sacrifice, they're in one area. You don't have to go find them again because you would have to go running around the house. So I figured out the strategy. Somebody came in, helped us. We ended up beating it, and then there's 4 other areas and a new one being created now to be added to the game.
Is that still in early access or is that fully finished?
I believe it's fully finished. I think they're still just adding stuff to the game.
Okay.
Um, but I would recommend this. I think this is a lot of fun.
Mhm.
It's for sure not the graphically most impressive game, but whoever created this, man, like honestly, like the flashlight system's great. Some of the perks are fucking dumb, I would say. Like they definitely could have put better ones. But like any other game, right? Some of the perks are needed to be there that are fluff just to be like,
It's here to
who
be here.
you
Yeah.
never know. Like somebody might actually use this. And it's true, like somebody could figure out a way like this is actually the best strat, whatever, whatever.
Mhm.
Um but for it just being like maybe hopping on with a few friends and playing it, I would say if I only played it that one time and I didn't play it again, it's worth the $4 I paid for it. Like it was fun. I had a lot of fun.
Mhm.
And in the future, I'm sure I'll get other friends to download it, and we'll be scared together and have fun on that too as well.
Yeah.
So that was um, that's a very good game. I would buy it. The other game I bought, which was 60 cents, I got this recently. Is the Scary Maze game, which is terrible. It's a horrible, horrible game, and it scared the shit out of me the most. So I don't know why. Actually, I can explain why. The reason it scared me so much is I don't like spiders, and
Okay.
the monsters in this game are not spiders, but they have a lot of legs and they look like spiders. And when you go into the hallway, they have super horrible flashlights in this game. Um, you go into a hallway, you're in a room, and then you leave the room. And once you leave the room, the monsters are activated to walk around.
Mhm.
I actually think they're on a cycle unless they see you, so they could still cycle around even though you're in the room. So they're moving around, and when they see you, you can see their yellow eyes, but nothing else. That scares the shit out of me. And
Okay.
then the next part that scares me is once you see them, they have legs, like these spider legs.
Mhm.
And like, ah, man, just the thought of like getting caught by it. I never thought I would be scared of this type of game, man, and I just was. So I had a really hard time completing it. I actually didn't. My friend completed it because I died
Because you're too
because I was
scared.
freaking out. I threw my headphones off of my head twice because I was so scared. It's insane. It's so dumb. I know people would play this and be like, "This guy's a fucking chump," but
Mhm.
whatever, man. It's creepy and scary. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Uh,
Scurry.
I would pay 60 cents for this game again.
God.
Um,
Why don't you play like good games like Danganronpa?
I should, but I'm like, I want to go through all this shit first, man. I don't want because if
Okay.
I spoil myself with good stuff, I'm not gonna want to go play all the bad stuff. I know it.
I
I know
guess.
it for sure. Um, Destiny 2, I downloaded on PC.
Speaking of bad stuff.
Yep. As you said that, I was like, fuck, man. Destiny 2, friend wants to play it. They talked about like people telling them to play it and stuff, and I'm like, it's not a good game. We got into it. They're enjoying it. Um, I'm actually enjoying going around with someone new and playing it,
Mhm.
which is interesting. I guess because like it's kind of like my comfort zone, Destiny, because I know so much and I know like the game really well. I've played it for so long, so I'm like, oh, like I don't mind teaching. Like that's always fun. So I've been having fun playing that again for a little bit. Still not a great game. It can go fuck itself, whatever. um, I went back and tried Black Desert again. I played that for fucking 30 minutes and hate it. Um, Man, that's a bad MMO.
Yeah.
I've been trying to find MMOs again, man, and
The
like
it's
nothing.
it's funny because like the only positive thing I've heard is just the character creation and that's it.
Yeah, that actually is pretty okay.
It's funny because like that company's doing a I think a single player game. It was like shown at
Yeah,
like
they're doing a Black Desert single player version.
yeah, I forget what's it
Yep.
called, like Crimson something, I want to say.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I downloaded Apex Legends and tried that.
Mhm.
I got my first one yesterday,
Mhm.
literally after downloading it.
You got your first victory royale. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's actually super easy on PC. Probably gonna play it more, but not like a ton.
When are we
Uh,
squatting up, bro?
do you want to play it?
I don't know.
If you want to play it, let me know.
I don't really play multiplayer shooters, so it's like I'm scared.
I mean, you don't have to be. I
But what if a big shoot streamer man shows up and then I get shot by them and then become content for their YouTubes?
Then you demonetize them.
God, I flag him.
I got Wesley to come back and help me finish my trophies in We Were Here and We Were Here Too.
Mm.
What's it called? Not trophies, whatever Steam cards.
Achievements.
Yeah, the Steam achievements. So I think it took us like 2 hours in total, maybe a little more, to actually get those done. And I was really surprised because the first time I went through that game, it was not very easy. I was very confused on the puzzles and stuff.
So that game is like it's like a co-op puzzle game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you're supposed to go in and each side has information that the other person needs. So you're supposed to figure out who needs to tell the other person, like, this is the information, then they figure out on their side what to do, and then they tell you what to do, blah 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 blah. I downloaded Soulstone Survivor, which was I downloaded the free demo. And that is, have you ever played Vampire Survivors?
No, I bought it and I have not played it and I keep hearing really great things about Vampire Survivors.
I don't like Vampire Survivors just because of the art. But Soulstone Survivors is like art upgrade version of that. But it's the same as that game. So you run around a square area and you level up by killing things, but you don't click or anything. It just automatically does all the work for you.
Yeah.
You just walk around and it hits everything. Never again. I saw my brother play Vampire Survivors. Never thought I would like this shit. I actually really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. Kind of reminds me of Gauntlet without the actual having to do the thing.
Yeah.
So
it's funny because like, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It's just like the creator of Vampire Survivors was actually a guy that used to work in like casinos. So he kind of like implemented the idea of like, all right, do a task, but you don't have to go further in depth into it. But the more you do, obviously, the bigger the reward you're going to get. And that's the mentality he kind of went into with making Vampire Survivors, of just like, it's kind of like a, what is it called? It's kind of like a slot machine, kind of just like all these flashing colors and stuff like that on screen. And eventually you get something big and then go again at it. It's very interesting. It's a very interesting mentality to have when making a game like that. But that game got
my attention.
Yeah, I mean, that game got super, super popular, and it's just like clones were just happening afterwards. So
I don't know when this one was made. I didn't look it up or anything, but I really enjoyed this one for sure.
Yeah, I've been meaning to play Vampire Survivors, but I know for a fact that like once I start something, I'm probably gonna get way too invested into it.
Yeah, I would still try it out. It's good.
That's what happened with RTSs. Bro, sorry, that's part of my week, but no, I'll get to it. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry.
No, I'm just going like different tangents and shit like that.
I bought Uno to play with friends.
Uno? It came free with your Xbox. No? All right.
I don't have an Xbox.
No, that's the joke.
Did it come free with Xbox though?
Yeah, at a point with your Xbox 360. There's this whole video of this guy being like, I don't have fucking Uno, and the guy's like, it came with your fucking Xbox.
That would make sense though, because I do have achievements from the Xbox with it. So back when I had an Xbox, I assume, and then the last one was the one that we all played together, which was Strange Brigade.
Yeah.
And I love that game.
Yeah.
Like it's a pretty good arcade shooting type game.
Yeah, you love it so much that you didn't buy the premium content?
Yep. I will go ahead and buy that when it goes on sale, so I'm not paying $30 for it.
Fuck no, I would not.
This game's good, but it's not $30 good.
It's like, old though. That's the thing, is that like it's It came
I
out.
would say on day one, it is not worth the $60 they wanted. I'm sorry.
No, no, definitely not. Especially
This is a $30 game. The base
yes.
game itself, maybe $30. I would say even pushing it would be the complete collection is only $30 to me.
Yeah, because I forget how much I spent. I think I want to say it was like $8 or $9 that I got with like the deluxe stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I can put down that much, and yeah, we're having fun with it. I'm as somebody that doesn't really play co-op shooters, it's like, yeah, I'm having fun with it. I like it.
I forgot. Golf with Friends also. Um,
Hmm.
which I know you love me sending you a message at 3 in the morning to play.
Yeah.
I thought you were up. It said you were on, man.
I think no, I think I know what it was. I think I left my computer on, and I think I just left it on like a game, and then I was like, I'm gonna take a small nap, and then I woke up like literally the day after, and I'm like, fuck, I left my computer on, and then I didn't see your message, so like the day, like after a couple days afterwards, I'm like, when the fuck did he send me this? What? Yeah, I have a tendency to do that where it's just like I'm in the middle of playing something, but I'm tired, and I'm just gonna take a small nap, then probably get back to it for a little bit more, and then call it. But
It's no worries. I just thought because I saw you on, I was like, I might as well see if anyone else wants to play.
who wants to play Strange Brigade right now? Mhm. You should get Monster Hunter.
No.
I'll definitely
So
play with you if you want to play Monster Hunter.
I don't want to play those stupid games. They're stupid.
They're fun.
I played the one PlayStation 1. That was enough for me.
That's the bad one.
That's the bad one. The last game I've been playing and I have been streaming and I've been having fun with this is Super Mario RPG. Super Mario RPG is a lot of fun.
So I've seen.
Holy shit, does it look better? The sound is cool too because they redid all the music.
Audio and music.
And the cool thing about that is you can switch to the original audio or you can listen to the new audio. You can pick which one you want to. You can switch it in the middle of the game. Like you can just keep switching it all you want.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then there's different modes. I don't know if this is originally in the game or not because they did do some updates, they said. You can do breezy mode, which is like probably not hard at all, and then you can do normal mode, which is I guess what the original game was. I forgot that when you attack people in the game, there's an exclamation point that goes over your head. Again, I don't know if this is in the original or if you were just supposed to know to hit A again. But if you hit A when there's an exclamation point over your head in the game, you double attack the person. / it does more damage and hurts people in an effective area.
I think, yeah, I think that was in the original game because I've only seen gameplay of like the original game because I remember I got to a point where like I should probably try this out because it was on the Wii U eShop at a point.
Yeah.
But I just never bought the game, and then the remake came out, so it's like okay, I'll play this eventually. But yeah, I think that the attacking afterwards was a thing in the original game.
Yeah. It's been like so long. I also don't think I ever beat this game. Like I think I watched my brother play it more than I actually played it. And the other thing in there that I don't remember is you can fast travel. You can go to your map and you can from in an area teleport to somewhere else you've already been. So that sounds new to me. It just doesn't sound like they did it back in the day. They might have, but it doesn't sound like it. I don't know. It's weird because like thinking about what I really enjoy about this game is like I really enjoy being able to put equipment on characters, and you can do that in here because it's like Final Fantasy.
Yeah, because it was a game developed by Square Enix.
Right.
So it makes sense. Yeah. So my question is, does this game feel like very, very I guess, does it greet newcomers or is it something for like JRPG fans to get really into? Because that's always the thing that I felt like is that this is kind of like baby's first JRPG.
For sure, newcomer stuff because they explain everything to you.
Okay.
Especially if you hit the explain it to me things, you know.
Okay.
I forgot how silly the writing is.
It's Mario.
Like there's a couple lines where it leaves open to like you would think someone would be like fuck you, and it's like they call you like Mr. Jumper Pants or something, and I'm like Mr. Jumper, and I'm like, oh, because Mario jumps. And then they're like, I bet you can't jump as high as me, and I'm like, is that an insult? Like, I guess.
The fuck you say?
That's pretty much like what I'm like, you fucking piece of shit, dog. Like, I'm
Yeah.
about to beat the shit out of you.
Mhm.
So
I'm from New York. Said Mario.
yeah, like
Oh.
Mario is out here, man. And then like on top of that, like this is super in the beginning, by the way, just in case like you're worried about spoilers.
Spoiled.
They constantly are like, why aren't you saving the princess? And I'm like, dude, you've asked 3 times, shut the fuck up. Like, you know why, because I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, you've saved the princess so many times before. And I'm like, can you all put like an Apple tag on this bitch, like, and remember where she is? Because holy shit, it shouldn't be my job.
I'm very excited for that Peach game that's gonna come out.
Oh yeah, the cat one.
Yeah,
Jesus.
that one looks good.
So that's it for me.
Okay, so eventful. Good to see that you're going back to your Steam library, checking shit out. That's good. I do really want to get into Super Mario RPG, but the thing is, there's so many fucking games, man. We have only like a month left. But still, like, there's way too much fucking shit. I guess for my shit, my blight that is happening, you know, the new Yakuza game came out, but I do want to play Lost Judgment, the second Judgment game that came out, before I play the Yakuza game, because apparently there's some stuff from that kind of comes into that. But yeah, Lies of P is also another one. Armored Core is also another big one. There was something else I wanted to check out, but yeah, there's way too much shit. But I guess for like, before I start with video game shit, for stuff that I watched, I've been watching. Well, I finished 2 shows. I finished watching Fall of the House of Usher, with my cousin, and yeah, Mike Flanagan does it again. He makes good shows. He's able to write.
Good.
It was good. I really liked it. I really liked it. Everybody acting wise is really solid, you know, because it's people that worked with him in other past projects. So yeah, it's just something I would recommend. My mom's also watching it, so I think we also talked about it for a little bit. That like my mom read the Edgar Allan Poe story of it. Yeah, and yeah, she's really digging the show. I don't know if she finished, but I really enjoyed it. The other big thing that I finished was Pluto. So, man, oh fuck, no, I'm trying to remember the name of the author, Naoki Urasawa. Fuck, man, just I think he might be one of like the best writers in like in a really long time. Just like how he's able to create a universe but make it his own, even though it's based off a property. Because okay, so before I kind of like dive into Pluto, so do you know the whole thing about Astro Boy and this whole, you know, the whole thing about Pluto? I think I mentioned it before in the last podcast of like what this thing is.
Astro Boy, no.
Okay, so I know really nothing of Astro Boy. Like, it's when it was shown on like TV or like the manga itself, but like Astro Boy obviously was one of the big stepping stones for mangas, to a point where the author Otomo actually has his own award for like other manga writers. So Astro Boy is huge in Japan, obviously. So I think last podcast I talked about that I was going through the first episode and a little bit of the second episode, and I didn't know what exactly was going on. So I only got like a little bit of the gist. Now actually finishing the show and doing some Wikipedia diving of like what the actual fuck is happening. So Pluto is actually based on an arc of Astro Boy. So you know how like anime series have like different arcs of like its story? So this is based on the Astro Boy arc, the strongest robot in the universe. And I knew nothing of what that was until I started doing a little bit of like reading on like wikis and stuff like that. So basically the whole idea was that these robots from different places around Earth were considered to be like the strongest robots alive, and lo and behold, this other robot comes out of nowhere and starts beating them up, essentially. Very basic Astro Boy shit of like, gotta beat the bad robot. So with this show, Pluto, if you know anything about that specific arc or anything about Astro Boy, it's like, all right, you already kind of have a bit of an idea of who the bad guy is. But Urasawa, the author of Pluto and the author of Monster and 20th Century Boys, is the shit that I really like. He's able to do very, very interesting things with murder mysteries or just drama in general. I know in the last episode of the podcast, I talked about how there's a specific scene between the robot detective talking to like this robot lady about her dead robot husband. And like, it's just such a dramatic scene of like these two things that obviously the robot detective is like very advanced because he's humanoid. While the robot lady is just like what you would think a regular robot looks like. But they have like a very like sad, just a very melancholy like scene of them interacting with one another of like, her husband just died and she, the detective offers her, the, what is it? The ability to basically erase her memory of her husband. And she's like, no, I would rather keep the good memories of him and understand, what happened to him rather than just completely forgetting about him, excuse me. So your main detective that you're following throughout the show, his name is, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly because this is a very German name. His name is Gescheit or Gescheit. I think in German it means face, from what I understand. And he's a character from the original Astro Boy universe. So you're following this detective trying to figure out the murders of these very well-known scientists and these strong-ass robots. So the thing is that these scientists were they were advocates for robot equality. So originally I thought this meant like the rules of like robotics, of like robots can't kill and this like that. That still holds part in this universe. Like robots can't do that. But that's the thing that kind of throws this shit into a whole fucking ordeal, is that like something is killing these people and it's most likely a robot. Interestingly enough, in that universe, there has only been one case of murder from a robot, and that guy is basically in robot prison. So you follow Gescheit into basically this whole conspiracy and this whole thing of like, what the fuck is happening? With elements of Astro Boy being in there, which is the funny thing, because you have characters from the Astro Boy universe kind of showing up being like, hey, it's me. Do you remember Astro Boy? Like, do you remember the actual Astro Boy? And it's like, okay, yeah, it's cool to see you. Because like there are moments where like I just felt like, oh fuck yeah, I forgot. Adam, which is the regular name for Astro Boy, he's here. Like I think he shows up in like maybe the second or third episode. But it's such an interesting thing because in this universe they also kind of add the whole thing of like America's invasion, or like when America thought that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. So that is kind of like coinciding with this story, which is just like, was kind of like a fucking mind bend for me of just like, oh fuck. Because they basically have a Saddam surrogate in this show of just like, what exactly was he doing? Because apparently this guy was making these claims saying that like he has weapons that he could obliterate his enemies with, in which led to an invasion of that country, and they didn't find anything regarding weapons of mass destruction, but they found crimes against robots, which were basically in a sense humanitarian, but it's funny to say that because they're robots. But basically this dude was like scrapping robots and leaving them in a basement to rust. And in the perspective of that universe, it's like essentially just gathering these bodies and dumping them in a basement and letting them rot. That's like the equivalency of that. So they were adding elements of that in that story, and I was just like, holy shit, like I was not expecting that kind of like parallel to exist. But the main mystery itself of like figuring out, all right, who's behind these robot murders is so fucking interesting, because it's just like of just like figuring out how this world works. I think was the aspect that I really liked about this show, because for an already established universe, it's interesting to see how somebody else takes that and kind of like does his own twist on it. So having the robot equality stuff was super, super interesting, because you're hearing from the perspective of how humans interact with robots and how robots interact with humans. And because how robotics have gotten so advanced, it's hard to determine what is a human, because you're following your main character, Gashit, and you don't really know anything about him up until later in the series, where his backstory starts to come out, and like you get hints of it at the beginning of the show, where like he has these flashes in his head of just like what he's trying to understand what these flashes are. Eventually, at the end of the series, they explain what those flashes are, but in this particular world, it's crazy to see that, like, obviously there are a lot of things that are very common with the real world. I think a lot of people would say that this show is too woke, but the thing is that like I mean, there's political shit and there's civil rights things that like obviously are a big thing to talk about, and to have it explained in a show about robots, it's like, oh yeah, like it is making a statement of just like society fucking sucks. Like shit fucking sucks. Okay, to give a little bit more I guess like background to what I'm trying to say, there is literally a hate group that fucking despise robots.
Right.
So it's like, how blatant can you get with that? But regardless, it's not done in like anything distasteful in a sense. It's just like, no, these are people, because like the world does give background to what's happening, and even a character who's part of that hate group is like, this is why I hate robots, and it's obviously because of the reason of robots essentially took our jobs. That's it. But yeah, just getting to the end point of Pluto was really good. I really, really enjoyed my time watching this whole thing. Getting to know like the different robots that got murdered, because I think in the total it was like 7 or 8. But like you get that perspective of how far science has gotten, of just like, are you talking to a robot or you're talking to a person? There, I think in the second episode there's a robot, because the second episode just shifts out of nowhere, because you're given in the first episode there's this murder happening, that you're with this detective, and then second episode happens, you're in a completely different area and you don't know what's happening, but you're introduced to a blind composer, and this guy is super old, fucking hates robots, despises them, but he needs somebody to be his butler. So a robot shows up. A robot becomes his butler, but all this old guy keeps doing is antagonizing this robot. But he asks the robot, like, what did you do? Like, what is, like, before you became a butler? Like, what was your purpose back then? And basically this robot's just like, I used to be a combat robot. Like, because this show literally has the equivalent of like America invading the Middle East. So the robot kind of served in like the parallel like universe of that, of just like fighting over there. And it's basically the robot explains like, I've seen some shit, like, but I don't want that to define me. I don't want to go back to combat. I actually want to serve a purpose that I can feel like I'm fulfilled with, in which he listens to the composer's music and realizes that, yeah, like, I want to play music. But this is the fucking second episode, and it's so long because each episode is like an hour, and there's 8 of them. But I guess like each episode kind of like fills out a volume from what I've been hearing. Regardless, yeah, and just like you have this really touching moment where like they kind of grow on each other. Like the composer realizes that like this robot really wants to make the effort to learn how to play the piano, and yeah, and then you're kind of hit towards the midpoint of like, oh yeah, we're still in this universe where murders are still happening. So yeah, it's fucking great. I also appreciate the fact that like the show kind of shows the perspective of Astro Boy as well, of like Astro Boy's background is a little fucked up. Okay, so because you don't know anything about Astro Boy, I didn't know anything about Astro Boy. So apparently Astro Boy was built by a scientist by the name of Dr. Tenma, and Tenma wanted his son back because apparently his son died like tragically.
Right.
So that was the purpose of Astro Boy, was to be a surrogate for his son. But in the universe of Pluto, he basically they show a little bit of like a background story of like their relationship when he was built and how they interacted. And basically Dr. Tenma was just like, I know for a fact you're not my son. Like anything that like you do is not him, and you serve no purpose essentially. And what's fucked up is that like in the original story, he basically sells him to a circus, and it's just like, what? But yeah, they add that to the Pluto show, just like, yeah, he was sold to a circus until a different robotics doctor took him in and treated him more of a son than Dr. Tenma. So then in Pluto, you kind of have that whole thing of like Dr. Tenma showing up and just being like, yeah, that thing's not my son, but like I am a man of robotics and I do want to see robots progress further than humanity. Like kind of having a bit of a god complex, which is the interesting part. Also find interesting in the English dub of Pluto, Dr. Tenma is played by Keith David, so that's fucking cool. But yeah, I don't want to get too into the spoilers of Pluto, but I would highly recommend anybody to watch this, even though if you have no idea of anything of like the Astro Boy universe, it is still a very good fucking story. And I really like Naoki Urasawa's works because like I love Monster, I love 20th Century Boys. I'm probably going to check out some other works of his. It's just like this thing was like fucking great. Yeah, I really recommend it. I highly recommend it, obviously because of me giving a whole gist about it.
I mean, from hearing all this, I actually kind of want to watch it. So
it's just the world that's so fucking interested, because it's just like, yeah, it's society's fucked. Like even though we've advanced in years, it's just like we still hold that shit that keeps us back, and it's just like, man, that fucking sucks. But yeah, anything Urasawa writes is just like, it's pretty fucking good. And I think there's a couple things that like some people have criticism on, like a couple of his like newer works, but 20th Century Boy is like, well, 20th Century Boys, excuse me, is fucking phenomenal. I think it's like one of the best reads I've had in a while. Monster is such a good story because I remember I went into that show not knowing a single thing, and then came out of it just being like, holy fuck, that was really good.
So what you said about us letting things hold us back, or holding back like advances or whatever.
Mhm.
I guess that kind of has to do with like sometimes fear, right? Because you're just scared of unknown, so people get scared of that stuff.
Basically, I mean,
Yeah.
kind of going back to the show is just like, yeah, that's essentially like most of the fear of those like robot hate groups is just like, I don't want to it's not necessarily a big fear, but it's more of like a fear-hate kind of thing of just like these things are getting way too fucking advanced and it's hard to discern what is a person and what is a fucking robot.
That's what I'm saying. I think sometimes fear or hate gets like people are like, I hate this thing, right? And they don't really understand why. And I think it's really just a fear they have. This, like, I have no fucking idea about people's minds and shit. I'm just saying what I think. Like, I think like people are scared of shit, man.
So these two aspects of fear and hate, big part of the show. Just want to leave it at that. But
oh yeah, no. Again, what is it called again? I forgot.
Pluto.
Pluto. Okay, that's what it was. Because I remember talking about Astrobots. So that's
yeah. I was like, why is it called Pluto? And it's like, oh yeah, because it's based, like the name is for the Roman god of death. Oh. Oh, okay. But yeah, fucking great show. Just like the characters were just like so fucking well written. Even Gashit, the main character, the detective, at the beginning you're just like, he's kind of like a weird blank slate, but then like over the course of the show you start to see that you forget sometimes that he's a robot. Because like he just has so many human interactions with robots. So yeah. Fucking great fucking show, man. So good. So good. I hope they come out with like a physical release of this, because I will fucking buy it. Because like, God, shit being stuck on streaming services is it's so shitty. Yeah, and then with that, for movies, I didn't watch too many movies. I'm still obviously keeping up with like other shows and stuff like that. I do want to watch more anime, obviously. So keeping up with Ultraman. Ultraman's fucking stupid. Yeah, that's all I can say. But for movies, I finally watched Killers of a Flower Moon.
Do not ruin it for me.
Marty Scorsese does it again. He hits
didn't you talk about it last time or no?
I talked that I finished the book.
Oh, you read it?
I shouldn't say read. More, I listened to the audiobook.
Okay. And then you watched the movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I was gonna go watch it like the week before, but I didn't finish the audiobook, and I was trying to work out a time to like go see it. So luckily I finished the audiobook and I was like, all right, let's go see it this weekend. I went to go see it with my mother. So my mom didn't know anything about like what exactly the plot was, and I kind of gave her a little bit of the gist when we got to the theater. And it's I know you say I don't spoil anything, but it's like, this is history stuff, so it's like it's already happened, but I won't say anything like particularly of like all like the twists and shit like that of the movie. Because like I say, it's part of history. But still, I think it's a very, very well directed movie. The writing is also very well done. Just knowing the stuff that happened in the book and obviously happening in history is just like, I think kind of like the craziest thing you can think about of like how this story has been like lost to time. And yeah, it just like Martin Scorsese being the one to direct it. It's just an interesting thing. But I mean, he is considered to be one of the greatest directors of all time, so it's like obviously this thing is going to be great. So it's going to be a good movie. And I did really like it. And it's funny because like the movie kind of explains the first and the second half of the book. There's a third half of the book that kind of gets summed up within like the last part of the movie, but there is a little bit more to that obviously from the book itself, when it leaves kind of like a really bitter taste in your mouth of just like historical shit. But overall, I would recommend this movie. I recommend it to people to watch. Yeah, Killers of a Flower Moon. Good. It's good. Spoilers?
I really want to watch it, but I'm not going to be watching it until it comes out on Apple.
On Apple TV? Yeah.
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 That really made me disappointed too, by the way, because like
I think originally it was supposed to come out on Apple TV, but I think the studio, I think Martin Scorsese was one that's like, no, this shit has to come in theaters.
oh, I'm sure he did. Fucking old man.
Yeah, he hates those Marvel movies.
Don't watch my movies on my phone. Guess where I'm watching Flower of the fucking goddamn stupid Spider Moon on my phone.
No, the person who made that thing, well, yeah, Martin Scorsese said that, but also David Lynch. David Lynch also said that. It's just like, that's not a movie experience. Watching it on your fucking phone.
Yeah, Scorsese's a dumb old man. Don't worry about it.
No,
He doesn't know to
he slays.
put on your Beats headphones, turn on your Apple iPhone, and start watching your Apple Music movies.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
That's it. I'm just ranting about nonsense.
All right, fair enough. Speaking of like really great directors, I just realized I watched the movie The Killer on Netflix. Because I was like going back and forth of watching on my phone because you talked about phone stuff.
The Killer?
The Killer. It's by David Fincher.
Huh.
It's based off a graphic novel, a French graphic novel. It's really good. I think I really like David Fincher's direction because like everything he's done feels very cold and very like calculated, and I think I really like his stuff for some reason. Obviously, you know David Fincher from Fight Club, Mindhunter, Gone Girl, The Social Network.
Gone Girl's really good.
Gone Girl's really good. Yeah, that's
Social
David.
Network was very not okay.
You hated the Mark Zuckerberg.
I'm looking at it now. I just found The Killer.
Yeah, so it's with
Is this brand new?
Yeah, this came out like this month, I want to say. Yeah, it stars Michael Fassbender as a assassin, and yeah, it's really good. It's not really like, I kind of went with the expectation of it kind of being like John Wick, in the sense of like, oh, he's the best of the best, but no, it's like it David Fincher does a really good job kind of explaining at the fact that, and also I think it might be because of the fact that it is a graphic novel that this character is kind of established already, that he's not perfect. He's just a regular person, just doing a job. That's it. And
9 to 5, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like he kind of has to like give the audience an idea, because he does have moments of narration in his head, and has to give the audience an idea of like, you know, what I do is no different from you doing your regular job. And it's very cold, like I said, like it's very cold, calculated kind of in its tone. But yeah, The Killer. Good. It's very good. I recommend. Don't recommend. Yeah, that's for shows and movies. I guess I could talk about video games because like I haven't played jack shit. Kind of. So, what have I beat? What have I done? I don't know. No, I do know. So I beat the game Quantum Break. Do you know anything about Quantum Break?
I really want to play this though, because did you stream it?
And then okay, so I remember streaming this game back when I started streaming. I don't think I saved the VOD. But this was like in the early aughts of me streaming.
Really? Because so this game's that old?
Yeah, this came out when the Xbox. This was an Xbox One exclusive.
So this is the reason I like this game. I saw you playing it on Steam the other day. I went and Googled it because I was like, "Is this a good game?" I even think I might have messaged you, maybe I can't remember. But I looked it up, and holy shit, that game looks graphically so good.
So that was obviously a big thing for this game when it came out, because this was an Xbox One exclusive. So they were really pushing like, look at the graphics, look at the fidelity. So this is made by Remedy, same people behind Max Payne and Alan Wake. Mm-hmm. This show, I'll explain why I said that, because it's very bizarre. This game is very, very weird, but I think overall I really enjoyed my time with it. Because I think I've already explained before about Alan Wake and Remedy in general, is that they basically created their own universe. So the weird thing is that Quantum Break is Xbox Microsoft exclusive. So Remedy technically doesn't own Quantum Break. Same thing with Max Payne. Like, they technically don't own Max Payne because Rockstar owns that. So I kind of got curious because with Alan Wake coming out and me playing it currently, I was just like, let's see the other stuff that they've done. So luckily I played Max Payne this year, all 3 games. And then I know a little bit of Control, but I actually am playing Control again because that game is really, really good. So Quantum Break is one of these outliers, I feel like, within that Remedy verse of like people don't really talk about it as much, which is the weird thing. And I'm like, I was playing with it and I'm just like, it is a good game. So it's like, why don't people really talk about it? And I think it's because they tried to do something experimental with this game. And they tried doing a thing of it being a TV show and a game at the same time. So what I mean by that is there are moments of like, when you get to a different act of the game, they basically set you up to watch a streamed show. It is so weird. So it's live action, the show, because all the character models are based off of real people. Because your main character is Iceman from X-Men, Jack Joyce.
The voice, yeah.
No, not the voice, the likeness and the voice. That's
yeah. What I meant was it's not actually Iceman from X-Men, but it's the guy.
It's the guy that portrayed him.
For a second, I was like, Iceman's actually in the shit.
Yeah, Iceman in that shit.
Iceman.
But yeah, they use like very big name actors, and like I said, they did like this really weird experimental thing of just like putting a show in between acts, where you're watching the live action show, and it's like the budget for it kind of felt like a very high budget CW show. Funny enough. But I had moments of weirdness where when playing the game, I'm like, all right, getting to the next act, let's watch the show. And then the game would be like, oh, something went wrong with the streaming. Do you want to skip this episode? And I'm like, no, I have to know what happens because it's part of the fucking story. So like, it does this really weird thing. But the cool part about I guess with like all Remedy games is just like the collectibles that you find, like all data material or emails and stuff like that of just like explaining like what is going on in this universe. Control has that. Control has, oh my god, like Control is crazy with like the amount of like paper collectibles that you find because like it adds to that world, but they're like really fucking interesting. Because like I remember talking with Wesley about Control, and I'm like, there's this one particular paper that you get of like talking about this duck that's like this fucking, no, not a duck, this fridge that like is fucking nuts and weird, and me and Wesley fucking just enjoyed that shit because it's so fucking out of left field. But I think sticking onto Quantum Break, it's like, it's interesting for what it does. I didn't really mind the adding the streaming show into it. I didn't mind that part. As a game, it is really interesting what it tries to do. Because of the fact that before you get to the next act, or before you get to that show part of the game, there's a thing that they call a junction, which is basically choose how you want this story to go. So you kind of play as the antagonist of the game, and his whole thing is that he has the ability to kind of like see how the world splits into like different timelines. That's the whole gist of this story, is that like it has to do with time. And your antagonist is able to see what happens in that fracture of time of like, does he decide to do this thing for this part of the story, or does he want to do this other thing for this part of the story, and see how that goes in. The one weird thing is that I don't want to get into the ending of the game because like it I don't want to ruin it. But for the
Yeah,
most
definitely want to play this.
yeah, for the most part, I did enjoy my time playing it. I think the powers are pretty fun. Because you do some stupid shit with like the time shit because you can make like a barrier on your enemies and you shoot at it, and it kind of reminds me of a JoJo thing, but regardless, where you're shooting at the barrier, and once it's like up, like once it's down, excuse me, once the barrier is down, the bullets that you shot into it like kind of just like go towards to the enemy. So it does like that really cool thing of just like shoot the barrier and get like fucking, I don't know, like 50 bullets around it, and then the enemy gets hit super hard. There's also like a time dodge thing, and like just like really really cool things with like the time powers. Um, yeah, and just a good time. I really enjoyed it. I liked the CW shit because like I like kind of that trashy stuff. Um, yeah, Quantum Break is interesting. I think a lot of people who are interested in like the Remedy verse games, I feel like should really play Quantum Break because it is a very good game. I'm trying to think if I had any particular issues or bugs with it. Not necessarily. There was a moment where it did get stuck because I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? But it was just like this weird timing thing for like the pacing of like this weird thing. It's hard to explain, but like I don't know. Maybe you might have a better time than I did. Uh, but I think overall I do like what Remedy tried to do with like time shit. Because I think I really like the show Dark, and because Dark,
Oh yeah.
yeah, Dark having that weird time element shit. I think that's why I enjoyed to see the concept of like what they were gonna do with like time travel and shit like that. So, yeah, I really really like the story. I enjoyed it. Uh, yeah, that's for stuff that I finished within my 2 weeks. It's mostly been stuff that I've been playing. Let's see, Mortal Kombat 1. You know, Omni Man came
Mm.
out. Omni Man came out. Been playing Omni Man. Been grinding that shit because Mortal Kombat 1 had an update recently of basically reworking the whole thing with their single player mode, the invasions. Um, Omni Man was also a early access because I had the season pass, so that was early access. And basically, I was just grinding out Omni Man to basically get the rest of his costumes. Also, for this season was Megan Fox. It was Nitara. So once you beat the final boss, you get a new skin for Nitara. And then next season is going to be Sub Zero. So yeah. But I think just on the subject of Omni Man, Omni Man is interesting. Omni Man is kind of cool. He's really fun. I'm enjoying my time with him. It's just like I'm bad at Mortal Kombat, but I've been going online trying to play a little bit more. And you know, every good player is either Sub Zero or Scorpion.
I love Sub-Zero, dude.
So yeah, they're really really good on that tier list, I guess. But Omni Man is really fun with the stuff that he can do, and just looking at like combo videos and stuff like that has been, yeah, been an enjoyable time for me. Just like figuring out how to play this character a little bit more, how to use him optimally. Um, but yeah, overall, Mortal Kombat 1 has been like pretty fun, even though it is kind of like still kind of broken. Funny enough, today, Tremor, one of the cameos, has been released, so I gotta check that out eventually. Um, but yeah, Mortal Kombat 1, enjoyable. The other thing I've been doing is I got a hitbox. So I've been playing around with that on Street Fighter 6. And yeah,
Yeah.
I got a hitbox. It's by Razer, so I think that adds to the whole Razer thing that I mentioned before. And yeah, I'm obviously it's a learning curve. I have to kind of get used to it. I'm obviously kind of trying to go back and play a little bit more of Street Fighter 6. But so far, I am enjoying my time learning how to play with this thing, and you know, I'm not really going into online because of the fact that like you know I still got to figure this thing out. But the hitbox itself is like really really cool. It's the Razer Kitsune, and I guess for me this was an early birthday / Christmas present to myself because this thing is not cheap. I will admit that. Um, but I do intend on using it a lot more. Not to say that I'm going to give up using my arcade stick because like the thing with the hitbox is that like, it's hard to do 720 motion, which is Zangief's super move. So there's that whole aspect. But apparently you can do it on hitbox, but it takes a little time to learn, obviously. But the Razor Kitsune itself is really, I have it over there, but I don't want to get up. Uh, the Razor Kitsune is like really, really sleek. It's really nice. I got the Kami edition because that's the character I've been playing as a little bit with Street Fighter 6. I do want to give Chun-Li a chance, but overall, how the controller feels, it's like it feels really nice. It's interesting to see that it is mechanical keys for the buttons, but they're pretty silent, which is the funny thing. And you can also change those out for like different keys, so you can get like much clickier keys and stuff like that. But yeah, overall solid controller. And then another thing I wanted to mention was like I mentioned that like I was looking for more mice and stuff like that, so I got a new mouse. So this was my original mouse. This is like a off-brand Chinese mouse that I've had for years. So, this thing has worked for the amount of time, and I was just like, yeah, I probably won't need any other mice afterwards. But then over the course of time, I was just like, man, I never really had another mouse. So let me see if I'm able to get something else. So I got a new mouse. I got a ROG mouse.
Really?
Yes. So this is called
How is it?
the ROG Harpy Ace from AIM Lab, the AIM Lab edition. I've been missing out on good mice.
So?
This thing is so obviously with this being like a third party brand, there's not really like anything to go from it. Like it doesn't have like any options or anything for it. There's no like third party software that you can really necessarily do with it. With this, I didn't even know what the fuck DPI was. That's how nuts it was, because I was like, what does this DPI button do?
So here's a question. Do you feel like changing your DPI is beneficial? Because I tend to be very low on my DPI.
Yes. Well, I mean, given the option, if you can do it. Because like like I said, with this other mouse, I couldn't do anything. Like I couldn't change the DPI or anything. And so I was like, when I first unboxed this thing and I was like playing around with it, I was like, the movement feels really slow. Why is that? And I was just like, oh man, could this be a faulty version? And I'm like, oh, what does this button do? And I press the DPI button, it changes the motion, or it changes the mouse movement. And I'm just like, that's weird. And I started playing around with it. I'm like, wow, that's so different. But I don't really play competitive first person shooters and shit like that, but like it's just like I didn't know that this was a thing because I'm not really huge into mouse or keyboard or computer accessories in general. And looking for a new mouse was like really difficult because of the fact that like there's so many different brands. People talk about Razer because Razer is like one of the biggest like things out there, and I thought about getting like a Razer mouse, but I was just like, you know what? I already have a ROG keyboard. Might as well go in for ROG. And yeah, it's just like the other big thing is that this thing is so light. It is so fucking light. Because I was like, when I unboxed this, I was just like, is there like nothing inside? And I compared it with the other one, the one that I had, and I'm just like, this thing is way heavier compared to the new mouse. And yeah, man, it's just like it's such a big fucking change. But like I said, this is coming from somebody that has not known a single thing about like peripherals and shit like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
For all I know, people can be shitting on this, being like, "This is a terrible mouse," and I'm just like, I like the mouse. I like it.
Well, that's why when I was like ROG's not known for their mice.
Yeah. Yeah,
So that's why I was. It's interesting. But you're saying it's good?
I really really like it. And the cool part is yeah, you can change the DPI. I guess other mice can do that as well, obviously. You change the DPI. You can also so far uh I forget who owns ROG. It's Asus, right? I believe it's
I believe
yes.
it's Asus.
Yeah, I believe it's Asus. Yes, it is. So you can this has the option of you basically using one single dongle to pair your keyboard with the mouse. So you don't have to use two different dongles. The only unfortunate thing is that my keyboard currently doesn't really have a firmware update to do that. It's only one single keyboard that's able to do that currently, but I'm going to assume that eventually they will update that and get some other keyboards to work like that. But yeah, man, it's just like it's so light. The feel of it I really like because it's like I know because I was looking up reviews for this thing and people say that like the feeling of this mouse is a little coarse because like there's some texturing that goes on the top of it, but I kind of like it weirdly enough. Or maybe my hands are super jacked up because I do have like callus on my hands, so I don't really feel it. But like it's just so light, and I was like, man, I'm really missing out on shit, you know, of playing first person shooters, and that's what I immediately did was that like, all right, what first person shooter games do I have? So I went back, I looked at like Warhammer Gunbolt, which is that Doom clone from Warhammer. Currently I'm playing Half-Life 2. You know, that's also been really fun. I do want to play Atomic Heart.
Yo, I want to play this so bad.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna play that on my own time, obviously. But yeah, I just want to go and play more PC and keyboard and mouse games. Sorry. Cause when I played System Shock Remake, I was using this mouse. And the problem with this mouse was that obviously, you know, it's third party brand and I don't really know anything of that third party. And it's been a good mouse for like the amount of years I've had it. I've had it since I've had my computer. Before
Years?
I want to say a little bit more, like 4-5 years. But it's been having issues of like disconnecting. So it's just like, maybe it's like due to age and shit like that. But you know, I was playing System Shock Remake and I'm like, yeah, it works thus far. But now I'm thinking like, now with System Shock Remake, I could go back with this and just go fucking nuts. But yeah, just getting a new mouse is like something I just never really thought about. Especially like a name brand one like Asus and or Razer. And yeah, Razer stuff looks pretty interesting, but like there's so many fucking mice from Razer and it's just like really hard to figure out which one's the good ones. And on top of that, I wanted a mouse that I can recharge with a cord rather than changing the batteries because it's just like, I don't really want to do that. Yeah, so that's just me. I prefer rechargeable things than switching out the batteries. Yeah, that's I guess Peripherals update, but I guess going back to like stuff that I've been playing, Alan Wake 2. Obviously, I've been playing Alan Wake 2. I am in a love-hate relationship with that game because of the amount of bugs that's been happening with it, but damn, that narrative is so fucking good. To the point where like I've gone back and I'm starting a new playthrough of Control. I'm playing it on PC currently because I finished it on PS4, I think. Yes, I finished the game on PS4. I played the DLC on PS5, and I'm like, let me see how it runs on PC because like obviously with all the hardware that I have currently. And I kept hearing about how this game is like visually impressive because of the ray tracing and shit like that. Holy shit, the ray tracing for this game is insane. Because I'm just like, every time I like walk past like a glass thing and it has the reflection, I'm just like, holy shit, that's a lot of detail. Yeah, Control overall is a very good game, and I do want to replay through that. It's good game. Remedy stuff is really good. I think that's what I can say in general. Anything else I'm currently playing or will do? I mean, I guess it was like a thing that I do plan on doing again. Me building Legos.
That was pretty funny to watch.
It was
Not
fun.
funny. I'm sorry. I meant fun.
It was
Serious.
funny to laugh at you because you are
Well, you make
adult.
jokes too, which is like part of it. So
Stop lying. You're laughing at me, not with me. So I got my Dominic one. So I got Dom, and I guess eventually I will be building that. Excuse me.
it's the weirdest thing to see you like go in on Fast and the Furious series.
Come out of it, be
It's
like,
just such a meme
I like
series.
this series.
Do you
it's-
really genuinely enjoy the series?
I genuinely enjoyed 1, 2. I really like Tokyo Drift.
Thank you, bro. People hate Tokyo Drift, and I love
I really like Tokyo Drift, bro. I just bought the Steelbook Collector's Edition of the Fast and the Furious, the first movie, because it was like
nice.
$9 on Amazon. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. Like, I really do. It's a good movie. That's the thing. The first two are fucking great. They're really good movies.
Yeah.
But you know, I stopped at Fast 5 because that was the last one I watched, and I have to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna watch the rest of them. Obviously through means I will watch them, but still, like, I'm kind of enjoying the series, even though like Fast 5 was kind of like the precursor of where the Fast series goes because of how goofy it is. But yeah, I genuinely do like the Fast and Furious like shit. And building that Lego was fun. So, do you want to do that? Let's see, what else? Trying to think. Yeah, I mean, Black Friday is happening. Early Black Friday deals. So I did buy some games. I bought this game called Valkyrie Elysium because it was cheap. And I bought Jedi Survivor. The new because I forgot that came out this year. And it was on sale for like $30, and I was like, yeah. Because I was originally gonna play it on PC, but it's been having so many PC problems. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just stick with console. So that should be arriving sometime soon. But like I said, this whole year has been like really hard to keep up with stuff because it's like, oh yeah, this came out this year. Oh yeah, this came out this year, and it's just like, fuck, it's hard to keep up because there's so many good fucking things out there. Yeah, and also streaming kind of comes into that aspect of just like, all right, what do I stream next? What does Chonch want to stream next? Chonch. Well, it's probably gonna be Liza P afterwards. But yeah, that is it. That's what I've done with my 2 weeks. That's what I do. Yeah, that's it. Do you want to take a break, or do you want to get into the news?
Actually, do need a small break.
Okay, I actually got to eat something, so it's gonna be a big break. But I'll probably let you know when I'm back.
Yeah, just hit me up.
All right, BRB. All right, we're back. Hello, how are you? How was your break?
It was eventful.
That's good. I'm glad it was eventful for you. Before we get into the news, I just want to mention 2 little things. I started up. I think I did mention this. I was playing Half-Life 2 earlier. I'm almost done with it. It's a good game. It was one of those games I usually just stopped playing because I don't know why, but it was fun. I liked it. For what I'm playing for the most part. Originally at the beginning of the game, I was not really feeling it until I got to like chapter 9, in which I was like, this game is fucking great. But yeah, I would recommend playing Half-Life 2 specifically. And then I forgot I started up Age of Empires. You know what that is, right? It's a
RTS.
Yeah, it's an RTS. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I've only got like a little bit into the tutorial, but it's been pretty good. Yeah, just wanted to mention those 2 little things. I wanted to get off my chest. Speaking of getting off our chest, talk about the news.
The news.
News. So, yo, what do you know about Embracer Group?
I know that they are firing people. What?
Yep. So Embracer Group is not in a good position this year. I mean, a lot of companies are not in any good position. But sorry, eating orange.
Mm.
So we got a couple things for Embracer. We got this first one. Embattled Embracer Group confirms more than 900 staff laid off so far and warns of more to come. So I think we've also mentioned this in like probably a couple previous episodes that Embracer was looking at not a good stance in their business, mostly because of the fact they've been buying a lot of studios, buying a lot of IPs, and really hoping that that deal from Saudi Arabia would fall through, but it did not. So now they're kind of left in the dust trying to figure out what the fuck to do next. So this article basically explains that, they higher ups over at Embracer had to, I guess, dim the fires for their employees to be like, yeah, like, we're sorry that this is happening, but it was kind of inevitable.
Yeah.
Which doesn't put them in a really great spot because a lot of employees are obviously worried because with holidays coming around the corner, their position is in the air. So congratulations, Embracer, for trying to monopolize everything. And yeah, it just led them to this standpoint, which, sorry again, orange, which has led them into the whole thing of also closing down studios. So we forgot to mention, well, not forgot, but I think we did mention that Volition was closing down. So yeah, I remember. Yeah, we did talk about that. Yep. Volition closing down. And then now it's Free Radical. So have you ever played the games Time Splitters? It is that studio, and
super disappointing.
Yep. I never played Time Splitters, so I don't really know the legacy behind that, but I know a lot of people that played Time Splitters really, really love that series and was hoping that maybe something would have been done for the series, being bought up by a huge group. Unfortunately, that has not happened. But, Free Radical is looking to close, but there's also the but in this. There is a chance that it might be able to live if another company buys them out. But like I said, it really depends who wants to buy them and whether or not Embracer will like that price to sell them for, because it's also been the issue with Gearbox. Gearbox is up for sale, but they haven't found anyone as of yet.
If if Free Radical shuts down, Embracer owns their IP still?
I don't know. I don't know because I think Free Radical was technically, oh no, even then THQ Nordic is still fucking Embracer Group, so
it would just be interesting to see if they could shut down and then restart. Because it happens all the time.
Yeah, that's like every developer story, is that they were originally part of an older team and then the older team got fired or kicked off, and then they started something completely new.
It would be interesting if like the originator though of the game was able to work with it still or whatever.
I mean, yeah, still that would be really interesting, but I guess it just depends on like who owns the rights to it. Funny enough, you mentioned that there was a game that came out like on the Switch called Dementium, which was a 3DS game that was owned by some company, but it kind of went, I think the company like died. So the creator of the game actually like was trying to find out like legal ways to get the IP back, and luckily they got it back, and it just got a HD version that got released on the Switch, like I want to say in October. So, yep, there's all kinds of weird legal shit that happens when it comes to copyright. And sometimes it can lead down a fucking hellhole of just waiting.
Yeah.
But yeah, Free Radical, unfortunately, is in a position where they cannot really do anything. And with that as well, Embracer also has their COO leaving as well. So their chief operating officer has left to start his own consulting firm. So his name is Egil Strunke. I guess how to pronounce it. Egil Strunke. Let's see. So he has an interesting history. So he originally served as the vice president of Nordic Games, which later became THQ Nordic. And then, let's see. He left. No, after his 2011. Yes, he left the role at 20th Century Fox's Nordic operations before returning to become Embracer CEO. So he left Embracer Group for a little bit and then returned and now is leaving again. But yep, their COO is leaving, but I don't really want to say that this is more of a sinking ship kind of thing, but even then it does feel like a sinking ship kind of thing. Because of the whole going back to that first article, the higher ups basically talking about how they need to restructure their operations and like figure out what exactly they need to do to ensure that the company is long lasting. But it didn't seem the case when they were trying to decide to sell to the Saudi Arabians. But you know, you know, that Saudi money could have been their lifeboat, but nope. Yeah, this is all unfortunate, you know, and this whole year in the gaming industry has been really unfortunate for a lot of gaming studios because of the fact that a lot of their parent companies just don't know what to do and would rather pay their CEOs a shit ton of money and get rid of the people that actually make the fucking games. But
it's kind of crazy.
That's how it is when you work in a company.
No, yeah, I mean, it's for sure company first. Like, it is what it is. But.
Yeah. This has always been the thing, you know, the fact that, like, when you start to read the news about certain, like, companies and stuff like that, I remember when I was younger, I wanted to work for, like, video game companies and shit like that. But the more I started to get older and the more I started to hear about, like, the background shit about it, it's like, it has a lot of flaws. And it's unfortunate for a thing that a lot of people really like to embrace and really want to, I guess, like, I don't want to say make a difference, but like leave a statement. It's like these bigger companies will try to snuff out that statement, and it just sucks. It's not cool.
But you know what is cool?
What is cool?
Snoop Dogg trying not to smoke no more, baby.
So we got tragic news, everybody. Snoop Dogg has tweeted out, after much consideration and conversation with my family, I've decided to give up smoke. Please respect my privacy at this time. It's very tragic that was put up on the 16th of November.
It's pretty sad.
Only for that to be followed up by Snoop Dogg reveals he is still smoking, and that was all for an ad for a smokeless stove.
The video is pretty funny, actually.
It is pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty funny. But I mean, like,
I also genuinely thought he was talking about smoking when I first saw that. By the way, I don't know if anyone else was like, "No, Snoop Dogg."
So that's the thing. I'm like, this dude has literally made a brand off smoking. I'm like, how the fuck is that gonna work?
Yeah.
Like, fucking a Call of Duty, of all things, one of his killing animations is him giving you the blunt.
I honestly was waiting for, like, something to happen where he was, like, some type of medical diagnosis or some shit.
Yeah.
He was like, this is why I have to, you know? But
yeah. Or you were hoping for
I'm glad
a
this
psych.
is what it is instead. I think this is silly.
Hey, man. I mean, he's laughing all the way to the bank, so.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Good for Snoop Dogg. Let him smoke on. Moving on. So, what do you know about AI, bro?
A lot.
Would you say that you are intelligent or artificially intelligent?
Say, I feel like it has something to do with Xbox.
Sorry. Yeah. Xbox. Xbox is planning on bringing AI. They're working. Well, I think what is it? They're working with InWorld, which is an AI company, to bring AI to their writing, their characters, and just basically the whole marketing gist is that this is a concept to revolutionize gaming in general, where a narrative can go, where characters can be more dynamic and storylines can be increasingly more interesting, and where the path can lead you of like certain scriptures and bullshit like that. Whatever the fuck. Hold on. All right. Sorry, I had some orange peels on the floor. But basically, yeah, the whole marketing just is that like this is the future of narrative games. I don't know, man. Like it was in poor taste because of the fact that like this was announced. I think Jeff Keighley also announced it for like the Game Awards kind of shit. And this is in poor taste because of the fact that like literally we had a writing strike happen for this shit, and unfortunately it got worked out. But like it is incredibly bad timing to kind of have this whole thing of like, look at this cool shit that Xbox is going to do, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, it's just, and then on top of that with the actors strike of like, you know, AI manipulating people's voices or using their likeness, and it's just like overall we're in an age where AI is still very, very like early, and we don't know what the right applications for it can be used, specifically using people's likenesses. But funny enough, you know, I guess leading to the next article, this was something that happened within this week. Was the CEO of OpenAI left, and turns out that he's joining Microsoft. So AI for the future? Are you going to become AI man?
I don't want to, but
Well,
this could be interesting. It seems like I'd watched a video about like how this works in game.
Mhm. And your thoughts?
Not impressed yet. You know, it's supposed to be like kind of like a learning thing where they can learn and then like do more, or
Mhm.
like you can ask it questions and it can like use things pulled from the internet or anywhere to give you information. I'm sure it would have like a called like it would be put in a box where it's like it can only grab this information, so it won't give you any more information, right?
Mhm.
Like it couldn't be like I don't know, something outlandish, ask it and then it would give you like the correct information back. It would probably be like, that's not my parameters, or whatever answer it gives back to you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it can be interesting. I don't think it's there yet to be fully implemented into something, and
Mhm.
maybe it is. Like maybe they're just not showing all of it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Could be good, could be bad. I mean, I think technology advancing is always a good thing, so hopefully it helps.
You know, after coming off Pluto, I don't know, man.
This guy.
I don't know. Maybe this AI might be used to destroy the cool ass robots in the future. We don't know.
So you're racist. You're
What?
racist against the AI.
No.
He's like,
No.
hold on, let me get my flag
Let
against
me
these AIs.
let me get the weird not Nazi flag. Mm.
It
Thanks,
just says
Pluto.
not Nazi on it.
Thanks, I forget what the symbol is from Pluto, but it's like it's very Nazi-ish.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Dude, yeah, I don't know. I think it's just my perspective from like a creative like thing, as just like it does feel like really bad timing to announce it, especially with a strike being over. But I don't know. I don't really want to say in the hands of good companies or good businesses, because none of that obviously exists, that they might do something interesting and might keep it within the parameters of like not fucking people over. But like you said, it's just like we have to just wait and see what they do with it. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Here's
that's true.
hoping Skynet doesn't get activated. Will I have to fight a huge Austrian man in the future?
Hopefully.
One can wish. Speaking of wishing, you know what Konami's wishing for? For fucking
They're
Silent.
first.
Where they're wishing for monetary gain for Silent Hill. Unfortunately, that wish might not come true because the amount of shit that's going on with Silent Hill. So, this first thing, so the plot for Silent Hill, the short message, got leaked, in an Australian report of some sort. Basically, the plot for the short message is an exploration-based psychological horror game in which players control characters in an apartment building called the Villa in modern-day Germany. The players assume the role of a young woman, Anita, who must explore the villa through first-person gameplay in order to collect clues and uncover what has happened to her friend. So I forgot that, yeah, they were planning on doing like different Silent Hill projects. Obviously, the biggest one that just came out not too long ago, which will be the other talking point, is Ascension. But yeah, short message was one of them. I think there was one by Annapurna that was being done, from what I remember. I don't remember what it was called, but it was something. What else? Silent Hill F, I think it's called. The one being done by a Japanese team.
Oh, I remember what you're talking about now.
Yes, F, and it's being done by the author of When They Cry. If When They Cry is like a visual novel series, that some people like. Kind of, it's very niche from what I understand. And then of course there's Silent Hill 2 remake being done by Bloober Team, which, whoo, Bloober Team. So a statement came out from Bloober Team. This was something I forgot to put up, but like a statement came out from Bloober Team saying that what was it? It's like, get ready to get back into the iconic like universe of Silent Hill 2 while also exploring the iconic character Pyramid Head. And I know a lot of Silent Hill fans are like, we don't have to do this. You don't have to do an origin story for the monster. Cuz like after playing Silent Hill 2 and like listening to people's like things of like what they're reasoning for, it's like, yeah, they really don't have to do the origin story for that monster. Cuz like, well, you know the whole gist of Silent Hill, right?
Yeah, the like nightmare version they go into and all that shit. Yeah.
But do you know like the whole gist of 2 specifically?
Story? No, I don't.
No.
I've never played these games.
So I guess just to give the reasoning for people that don't know about Silent Hill 2 specifically, is that the whole nightmare that your main character James is going through is of his own. So Pyramid Head is a monster of his own subconscious coming out and basically stalking him. And that becomes the problem, is that Bloober Team's whole thing is that they want to basically explore and explain this character that doesn't need any explaining because it is a monster for this one specific character. And it's like, nobody really asked for this. But I think it's just because of the fact that like specifically Pyramid Head is so iconic that Konami doesn't know what to do, so they're like, fuck it, do something with our iconic character Pyramid Head. And it's like, I don't know, man. It's like if Resident Evil did a side story of Mr. X, and like Mr. X was this dude that worked at Umbrella and then he became an experiment, and it's just like, no, that doesn't need to exist. He's just a monster. He's just Monstar. But like I said, and the other thing is that like from a lot of Bloober Team games have not been particularly good. So a lot of people's expectations for the Silent Hill 2 remake is not that well. Just a lot of people are expecting this game not to be well written even though they have the source material. Because they flubbed up on the Blair Witch, that game, because that was them. I don't know anything about the Layers of Fear games. I know when they came out, a lot of people really liked them, but I know nothing of them. And then The Medium was a game where a lot of people just really fucking hated the ending. Like, it was not good, from what I remember.
Did you play the Blair Witch?
I played, like, the demo for it, but then I just never got too far into it, and then I think I just did, like, a wiki read, and I'm just like, oh, that ending kind of not great.
Weird, they only do horror games?
I think they did something else, but I don't remember.
I see Layers of Fear 2 and 1, and then the third one.
Layers of Fear, yeah.
Blair Witch, Observer.
Oh yeah, Observer. That's
Silent Hill 2.
That's the one that I heard was actually pretty alright. Observer, because it stars Rutger Hauer. But everything else has been like either meh or just like not great. But The Medium, I heard, like, I got spoiled in the ending of The Medium, and it's not good. Like, it's not good. Funny too, because I remember I tried like running the demo on my computer back with my old hardware, and like that game was like intensive. But yeah, after hearing about that game not being good, it's just like, all right, I'm fine. I could go on living. So yeah, we'll just have to see what the fuck happens with Bloober Team Silent Hill 2. But before that, it's like the short message. Yeah, this was also like I was saying, is that like they were planning on like doing other Silent Hill things because they're trying to revitalize themselves, Konami. I don't know. I think he also said in this article from IGN that this was also part of that leak that happened. Do you remember this? Where some guy leaked it on Twitter of like different Silent Hill projects and shit like that. This was like a while ago. We talked about this.
I really don't remember it though.
Yeah, you probably just zoned out and was like, Chunch will explain it.
I'm already asleep.
Yeah, see? But I believe it did get like sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. It did get leaked. But it seems like from the leak this got changed to be a first person game. I think also at the fact that like maybe they want people to be reminded of Silent Hills, the game that was supposed to come out, the PT game, you know, because that shit's never gonna happen ever again. That's so sad, man. It's still like, it still sucks to this day. Just like everything behind that game and just what went wrong with it sucks. But we have to see. Speaking of seen and being seen, Silent Hill Ascension. Talking about Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Whew. So, first Silent Hill game in 11 years, most hated experience of the franchise. All right, let's talk about this. All right, what do you know about Silent Hill Ascension?
From what I read, it said that it was going to be like oh my god, the Walking Dead games, the interactive ones where you like walk around and like choose your story through talking to people and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. You had told me before that it was I believe live streamed or something. And,
yes.
I didn't see any of that, so I don't know.
So the first episode was streamed already. So you're right. It is a kind of like choose your own experience kind of thing, but you're with a group of people. And apparently this article is not wrong. A lot of people who watched it did not like it. To the point where, yeah, this thing is kind of a weird pseudo pay to win kind of thing. Because I think, a little off-screen thing. I was reading the article and I was just surprised of like what microtransaction bullshit was happening, because that was the big aspect of this, of like why people were hating it was because of the microtransactions. And just to read off this thing, it is really, really gross. So a part of this article is like, this was subject of outrage for many fans in its own right, with some users taking to social media to criticize Konami's monetization of the title, which the company originally hailed as the ultimate comeback for the Silent Hill franchise. One user took to Reddit to call it the most hated Silent Hill experience yet, a bold claim about the franchise whose last several titles saw middling to poor critical responses. So, what was going on during that first episode was, taking another paragraph from the article, specifically audience members who tuned into Ascension's first live episode cited issues with connection timeouts, login issues, and a plague of spammers and trolls in the stream's live debut, which Konami reportedly did little to prevent. Additionally, despite its free-to-enter promise for prospective viewers, the title contains premium collectibles that allow users to increase their personal influence on the story. While these are earnable in-game for free, a $20 Founders Pack exists, which significantly boosts the frequency of these influence points and offers various other rewards for users who purchase it. That is some gross shit, bro. That is so gross. Because it's like, then what is the point of having it be a viewer experience if you're essentially being like, we'll have people watch it, they can't do anything because they didn't pay the Founders Pack version, so they have like little to no influence on this. It's like, so what's the point? I don't know, man. I think
It's so weird.
I think the really, really fucked up thing was just like the backing of J.J. Abrams on this thing. That was the thing that like made no sense to me, because that was the thing that they were pushing for Ascension, was just like, yeah, J.J. Abrams also producing it, and it's just like, it's gonna be like this crazy thing, and it's just like, man, how this shit is going is like fucking, it's bad. It's really bad. But yeah, that was the other thing that I was hearing about, was that like people were basically spamming like specific things, saying either scam or either Hideo Kojima or Silent Hills, and basically after that got like kind of like muted out. Funny enough, it being an interactive thing, there's also a chat that you can like write down with emojis, and it's just like the weird shit to put down because of the fact that like you're watching weird horror shit. I don't know, man. Like it is like a really gross monetization idea that Konami just has, but it doesn't stop them. They're gonna try to get every dollar of what they want, but I think the problem is that the fact that like Konami hasn't done anything in years, and them trying to basically restart or like reinitialize like their existing series because they have nothing original like that's new. It was like I think it was a really bad idea. It felt very Marvel-y when they came out with that Silent Hill like press conference thing of just like, here's phase 1 of Silent Hill 2 remake, Silent Hill short message, Silent Hill If. And we have this crazy new idea, Silent Hill Ascension, which is this choose your own adventure kind of ordeal. And it's just like, ugh. Like, I was just like, this feels like way too much to like kind of throw at you. And it's just like, I don't think it's going to last. It's not starting off too good. That's what I could say for sure. But to be like honest, I am kind of interested to see that Silent Hill F, just to see how that goes. Hopefully it might be interesting and it might be good, because that seems like an original thing. I don't want to get down on like Silent Hill short message or like the other Silent Hill shit, but that looks more interesting than the rest of them. So I guess we just have to see. We just have to wait wait and see. But yeah, Konami has not. They've just done the bare minimum of things, and I know. I think we talked about it last podcast. I bought the copy of Silent Hill Silent Hill. I bought the copy of Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, and it is like the most bare bones like port you can do, and it's just unfortunate that like Konami's just like, yeah, people will buy it, and lo and behold, I bought it because I love Metal Gear Solid, and it's just like it fucking sucks when they just barely did anything. But yeah, man. So yeah, if you wanna influence the game with your influence points, put up some money, go watch it.
So stupid. I'm sorry. It's dumb.
It's a really like stupid thing for a concept that should be easily like done, but it's just like Konami just like doesn't give a shit. Like they really don't care.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, but we'll see. Speaking of we'll see, will you see the live action Legend of Zelda movie?
If it ends up looking good, yes. If Chris Pratt plays Link, then no. If Chris Pratt plays Zelda, no. If Chris Pratt plays any goddamn character in this show, no.
What if Ganondorf though?
No.
What do you mean? The fuck you mean no?
My name Chris Pratt, lasagna, Zelda. Come here.
That's true. He is playing Garfield. But yeah, live action Legend of Zelda is in the works. So let's see. Sony co-financing new film with Avi Arad, and with director Wes Ball and Shigeru Miyamoto producing. This should be interesting. So let's talk about Avi Arad. So a lot of people, when they saw this name, were just like, "Holy shit, this might be terrible." So, do you want to know something about Avi Arad?
Yeah, what about him?
All right. He is a producer. He's a producer for many things. Let's talk about his producing role. So,
okay.
He has produced. Sorry. Daredevil 2003, Hulk,
Oh no.
The Punisher, Spider-Man 2,
Wait, which Punisher?
the Thomas Jane one,
Okay, great, wonderful.
Elektra, Man-Thing, Fantastic Four, the 2005 version, X-Men: The Last Stand, that's X-Men 3, Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage, Spider-Man 3, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, Bratz, Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance, The Amazing Spider-Man, Robo Sapien Rebooted, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Ghost in the Shell with Scarlett Johansson, Venom, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, that's a good one to produce, Venom Let There Be Carnage, Uncharted, Morbius, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and he's also producing Borderlands, the movie based off the game. And he's also doing Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah, I'm not excited for Kraven. That looks bad. I'm
What are you
excited
talking?
for.
Aaron Taylor Johnson?
Shut up.
The best.
What was the other one? I can't remember what you just said. The one before Kraven.
Borderlands.
Yeah,
That's like Kevin Hart.
Hoping that's gonna be good.
I think it's Kevin Hart, directed by Eli Roth.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a couple big names in there.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis is in there.
Yep.
Like, yeah, it could be a mess.
I really hope Zelda works out. It just doesn't. Like things like this just don't. It just happens. It's fine, and it's fine. Like they'll fuck it up, and we'll learn. So that's cool.
So that's his producer like credits. But do you want to know what he executively produced? because there's some good
Is he
shit in here.
producing this, by the way, or is he actually working on this?
He's producing this with Shigeru Miyamoto.
Okay.
So
Hopefully he doesn't fuck it up.
who's directing this is Wes Ball. So we'll look into his whole thing. But Avi Arad is a producer. He's mostly a producer.
Yeah, he's produced a lot of garbage, so that's cool.
A lot of Marvel garbage. Okay, get that straight. It's a lot of Marvel garbage.
That doesn't matter. Garbage is garbage.
Shut up, though. But executive produced Blade, X-Men 1, Blade 2, Spider-Man,
Blade wasn't bad.
X2, X-Men 2, Blade Trinity,
Those X-Men movies weren't bad.
The Killing Floor, Gamba to Nakamachi? I don't know. Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and then No Way Home. So that's what he executive produced.
So he did some good stuff there, got it.
So, let's look into Wes Ball. Hold on. Wes Ball. Wes Ball. All right. So, his filmography is relatively short, from what I'm seeing. So, he is the director for... Do you want to take a guess? Something that you've been enjoying a lot.
I've been enjoying?
Yes.
Loki?
No. Something else.
A TV show?
No, a book series.
A book series?
Mm-hmm.
The Diablo ones?
Mm-mm.
Maze Runner?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So he's the director of the Maze Runner, the second Maze Runner, and the third one. And then he
movies?
is... Yes.
Okay.
And he is also up to direct The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which is the new Planet of the Apes movie. That's actually another series that I want to go through. That's just for me.
He wants to know about Caesar.
I want to know about the monkeys. But yes, his filmography is very, very short, but he will be directing. So I don't know how the quality of those movies are, the Maze Runner movies, but
They were alright. Whoever wrote them wasn't great, but they were fine.
wow, so much hate for the Maze Runner.
The first one was good, the second one was okay, and the third one was mediocre.
Okay. That's I just don't know about the Maze Runner.
Sure.
But yep. So the live action movie will be happening. It is unclear when it's going to come out, but possibly in 2028. That's my guess. Just thinking. But who will play Link? Who will play Zelda? Will it be Chris Pratt as Link, and will it be Anya Taylor-Joy as Zelda?
Will it be Chris Pratt as Link, and will it be Chris Pratt in a wig as Zelda?
Chris Pratt. He's so cool.
Shut up.
that was a statement from Miyamoto.
He said he's so cool.
Yeah, because this was during the time when they announced the voices for the Mario movie. He's like, and voicing Mario will be Chris Pratt. He's just so cool, or something like that. It was very like, yeah. But interesting that they're going with the path of live action rather than animation, which, you know, with Nintendo bought an animation studio. So it's weird that the fact that they're like, fuck it, live action. I don't know. We'll see.
Japan does love their fucking live action shit, though.
That's true. Look at Takeshi Miike. If you
live
didn't,
action Japanese Spider-Man.
You mean Supaida Man?
I mean, Spooderschman.
Yeah, you mean Supaida Man. No, it's well. This is the thing: is that the live action like adaptation shit is mostly because of one guy, and that's Takeshi Miike. Takeshi Miike is like, I guess the equivalent is like, I don't even say Quentin Tarantino, because it's like Takeshi Miike is just like very bizarre with his filmography stuff, but he's done the live action JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4 movie. He did that. He also did the Ichi the Killer. And funny enough, one of the movies that I really liked from him was not a modern, but like it was a remake of an older movie called Harakiri. And that's a genuinely good movie. Even in it's directed, it's also really good. But his like filmography is just so bizarre because he's done like weird adaptation stuff. But he's the one that really like pushes for that to be made. But I don't know. I don't know if he's getting like some kind of like tax break or something, for all I know. But yeah, I would really like recommend looking up like Takeshi Miike's like filmography just to see the weird shit that he's behind. I'm surprised they didn't ask Takeshi Miike to direct the live action Zelda movie. That would have been kind of cool. Not gonna lie. I would have pre-ordered the ticket. But I think the real question is who will play Link? Because Link is a twink. Who is out there that will play Twink Link? Timothée Chalamet? That's my guess.
Yeah, god damn it. Hopefully they pick unknown people. That'd be great. That they find some unknown and then get like kind of like the Stranger Things kids, just make some good talent out of nobodies.
Yeah, they could do that. Yeah, because like, how old is Link in Zelda? He's usually like 16, 15, depending.
Oh, I have no idea.
Well, I think the thing is that like, which Zelda is this gonna be? If they're gonna like either base it in the world of Hyrule, or it's gonna be based off one of the games. Because if it's like Ocarina of Time, it's like they're gonna have to find a child and then an adult version of that child. Or if it's like Twilight Princess, they're gonna have to find like a 15 or 16-year-old and then a wolf and CGI a wolf to be in there. But
hopefully they're not doing a Twilight Princess thing. That'd be weird.
Yeah, they should do Skyward Sword because that one sucks. But you know they they sorry, they gotta figure out what they gotta do. I hate Skyward Sword. Actually, hate's a strong word to say. I'm
sorry. What about Skyward Sword?
Huh?
What about Skyward Sword?
No, don't worry about it. You didn't listen.
You said you love it, right?
What? Moving on.
It's your favorite Zelda? Yeah.
Moving on. Chris Pratt.
Dude, everyone hates Skyward Sword. Shut up.
I don't like the motion.
Skyward Sword sucks.
I don't like the motion stuff. I hate the motion shit.
Yeah, just play it on the fucking Switch then.
I should play the better version of it with no motion controls.
Download the ISO or whatever the fuck it's called, and then iOS, whatever. And then use the fucking file and download, I don't know, whatever they're called, ROM thing?
Yeah, ROM thing.
Yeah, and play it that way. Without your stupid touch thing moving controllers, you fuck.
No, I will play more Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom. Fair.
So yeah, we just have to wait until this fucking thing comes out. But I'm so excited that the producer of Morbius is on this. Morbius. Did you morb? I didn't morb.
I never watched Morbius.
I can't believe I just said that so like fucking nonchalantly. I meant to say I haven't seen Morbius. Did you morb? Cause is that still on Netflix? Because I remember at a point it was on Netflix.
I don't think so.
All right, we'll just have to see. I'll let you know when I morb. Speaking of morb,
they don't deserve money.
All right. Speaking about morbin, Last of Us Part 2 Remastered got leaked, so PlayStation was like, "Fuck it, yeah, it's official." All right, so what is new about this thing? Apparently, a lot of things. Do you want to talk about the lot of things?
Yeah, you want me to?
All right, so this do you want to read this?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
As far as the new stuff goes, they said you're going to dive deeper into the beloved adventure and learn how the original game was created.
The beloved adventure.
There's some lost levels you're going to get to explore. Why do they break it up this way? Early development versions of the 3 new levels not seen in the original.
I was going to say, you should just look at the Wario 64 post.
That's what I'm looking at.
Really?
Yeah.
The native PS5 enhancements. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, because there's
I,
at the bottom it says a bunch of stuff, so I thought that was where it started.
no, just read what he posted down. Say yeah, it's from Wario 64, rather than that weird fucking sheet.
Well, no, it's literally at the bottom of it.
No, read the fucking thing.
So yeah, native PS5 enhancements, wonderful. Built for the PS5 console, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered enhances the original PS4 in ways not possible before, including a host of graphical improvements, bringing the beautiful yet dangerous world to life. Visual performance is now outputs to 4K in fidelity mode. Improved loading times, more quickly let you jump into action, and full DualSense wireless controller integration. That's pretty cool. You okay over there?
Sorry. Does it get better?
Shut the fuck up. No, so that sounds like a bunch of stuff that should like have been day one, no?
So this is the thing. I'm wondering why they just couldn't patch it. Well, okay. I think I just need to add a little bit more context to this. So Sony has confirmed that this will be, if you already own the game digitally from PS4, you can upgrade it for $10 like they did with the Uncharted, like the Thieves collection, the fourth game of Uncharted. So you can get an upgrade for this.
Did this not come out on 5?
No, it came out on 4.
Oh, I thought this game came out on PS5.
No, it came out on 4. This
Holy
was like
shit.
This was like the last thing before PS5 got released.
I thought, okay. Okay.
Wow. Not a true Sony fan. Anyways.
Not a true this game fan.
Okay. So this is where I have my criticisms, because I mentioned this earlier. I don't think okay, so narratively, I didn't really like Part 2. I don't think it was a good sequel. Gameplay wise, I thought it was very interesting what they were doing. Because of it just kind of being pseudo open world-ish with like you running around Seattle. And there was a part of me that did want to go back, because obviously I bought the fucking game. I might as well just try to go back and see if anything changes. But I haven't done so. With these new additions that they're doing for this remastered, I think it's really interesting. I think having the roguelike survival mode, no return, is a really cool thing. Looking at the lost levels is also really interesting. I'm probably going to be pissed off at listening to the developer commentary, because I don't want to fucking hear Neil Druckmann talk about the melancholy of suffering. Look, the other stuff is like guitar free play. Let's see, speed run mode. Let's see, descriptive audios and speech vibrations. Last of Us Part 2, brand new unlockable character. And weapon skins for both Ellie and Abby. Okay, so there's some neat things that they're doing. So this other criticism comes from a consumer standpoint. This game doesn't need a remaster. This game is only like 3 years old. Why, though? Like, why not just patch the PS4 version and be like, we're adding all this other shit? And it started to dawn on me that, like, this is PlayStation. PlayStation is going to do this. They're going to try to milk as much as what they have with their franchises. Because look what happened with The Last of Us. Got that remastered. And it's just like, it's the same game. It looks visually prettier. I played it, and I liked it. I still love The Last of Us Part 1. But fucking, what is Naughty Dog just like the equivalent of like fucking the Halo / Gears of War like thing of just like, we're just gonna rehash this other shit that we worked on? It's so weird, man. Like it's like, and this is also coming from the fact that like there's no word about that multiplayer shit for The Last of Us. Because the last time we talked about it was that shit is basically on ice. So, yeah, we don't know what's gonna happen, but Will I pay for this? I'll have to think about it. It's gonna be $10, so it's like, fuck it. I've been looking for an excuse to go back and replay this game, but from another standpoint, it's just like I can see why people are upset about at this. It's just like there's no reason for this to have a remastered. It doesn't make any fucking sense. For a 3-year-old game, it does not make any fucking sense. Like The Last of Us Part 1, if there was no Last of Us PS4 remastered, then, you know, it being remade with the brand new, like, graphics and shit like that for the PS5 would have made sense. Of just like, okay, it was originally a PS3 game, now PS5. But if it didn't have that in between, I think a lot of people would have been more lenient on that releasing. But with this, it's just like, it's only been 3 years. It's only been 3 fucking years. Like, it's wild. And the other shit is just like, you're doing it for this. You have Bloodborne that has not been remastered at all.
Yeah, but why would they give us anything we want?
Why? Why though? Why? Why would they do that? Why would they listen to their customers? They don't want to do that. Anyways, here's Last of Us remake based off the show. Pedro Pascal is Joel. Bella Ramsey, Ellie. Have fun. Give us money. Give me money. Like it is frustrating because it's just like that. Like, I know a lot of people might be annoyed by the argument of like, oh, but why not Bloodborne? It's like, yeah, why not Bloodborne? Why not? I don't get it. Because it's like I'm literally going through I'm just watching this on like my own time, but like I'm watching Maximilian dude play Bloodborne randomized on PlayStation, on his PS4, but he's playing it on 60 FPS. But he basically had the whole process to play that game in 60, because the game runs on 30 FPS, and it's a really unstable 30. So how he explains it is that he basically had to hack his PS4 Pro, get a file on there, and sometimes there are times where that thing glitches out. So sometimes the game closes out and things like that. So he's playing it on randomized. This was a stream from like earlier this year. Now he got his hands on a PS5 version running at 60 FPS natively. And it's like, it's this whole thing of just like, why has this not like been remastered or anything? And it's not a From Software IP. Sony owns Bloodborne. So it's like Sony has the ability to do whatever the fuck they want with it. They could give it to fucking Bluepoint. Bluepoint worked on Demon Souls. Just give it to them. But no. Last of Us Part 2, Part 3, Remastered, Extended Cut, Director's Edition. Ellie will resurrect Joel. God. Oh man, I have like, this is like such a weird, it leaves a weird taste in my mouth because it's just like I did not like anything. I did not like the story. I should say I didn't like anything. I didn't like the story for Last of Us Part 2. And
leave a $10 taste in your mouth?
But I'm willing to give that $10. But it's because just to satiate my curiosity. That's all it is.
I mean, I gotta be real. $10 isn't bad for a small update. At least personally, I don't think. I do think exactly what you said though. Like, these types of small updates could easily just be free.
Yeah.
Especially it sounds more of like a quality of life thing versus like enhancement and some graphics here and there maybe. But even then, like, I doubt it's gonna be that big of a difference.
The roguelike
and if it is, you'll let me know. Because if it is,
yeah.
If the
you know
4K difference is huge, then it might be worth the $10.
You know what? I'm probably gonna stream the roguelike thing. I'm probably gonna do that.
Okay.
And then I'll probably play through the story, you know, on my own time, but because I do not want to fucking stream the fucking sex scene that happens again. I do not want to do that. God, it was so bad. It's so bad. It's like, why is this like fucking 10 minutes long? But like the story is just like, it's not well written. It's like, oh my God, it does so many things where I I started to hate Ellie. Like, I really hated Ellie by the end of the game. And I'm just like, that fucking sucks. That really sucks. But
Was it meant to make you hate her?
do you want me to rehash the whole story of Last of Us Part 2?
Not really.
All right, I'm going to do it anyways. You're going to have to listen. You're going to have to suffer with me. Did you put me on mute?
No, I put my mic up so I'm gonna listen.
I think you put me on mute. Okay. Well, actually, no. I feel bad if I actually ruin it for you. I don't want to do that then.
I mean, I will play it at some point. But...
Yeah, but I overall, okay, without any spoiler stuff, Ellie makes some decisions that any rational human being would be like, wait, why did you make that decision? And
yeah, doesn't she also make them like without having any like good foundation on why this decision should be made?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard most of this stuff from people because the game's been out forever.
Yes.
And like
the other aspect is the other character, Abby, where she makes, because the whole story is about revenge. And it's like, look, in a world filled with really shitty things happening, it's like revenge is like the only thing that people are able to have an actual grasp on and actually make a difference in their life, even though the life is shit. But the lead up to this is like, it's so bizarre and how they wrote it, because the entire time you're playing as Ellie, she's on this quest of revenge, and it's just like the ending to it, I wouldn't say is like something that needs to be, I guess, like revenge is a dish served cold, but even the way that they tried to get to the end feels like it's like so lackluster, and like it felt like they were like rushing to like, all right, what is the message we have behind this? And even then, the message that they were trying to perceive felt really muddled. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Because like I've always stated this, is like I firmly believe Last of Us did not need a sequel, or if it were to do a sequel, focus on different characters. You don't have to do Ellie and Joel again.
You did say that.
I've said that multiple
talked about
times.
this show at some point. You were like, I wish we would be able to see like different characters and
Yeah.
different things going on in this world. Yeah, that's true, and it's fair.
Mm-hmm.
It's fair.
Ma'am. No, because like the one interesting thing about the show was that they did that thing of like Indonesia, where it's like the outbreak is happening in another country. And I was like, oh, that's really fucking interesting. And it's like, oh, this only happens at the beginning of like each episode of just like, all right, this is what happened beforehand. And then back to Joel and Ellie. And, you know, talking about The Last of Us Part 2, that second season is going to happen. So, yeah. Can't wait for Pedro Pascal to be there for one episode, and that's it.
Hadri Asquale.
But it's like man, there's so many like I would have to play through the story again just so I can have my criticisms like down to somewhat of a T.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
but overall my criticism is from the story in general, where it's just like it's not a well-written story. It felt really rushed, even though it was incredibly long, which is the weird thing. And it's like, it's such a bizarre thing, because I know a lot of people were complaining about how the game was like very, very graphic and very violent. And on top of that, like NPCs, whenever you shoot or stab or like do something to them, the enemies, they would like scream out in pain or like yell out the NPC you killed's name or their dog. And it's just like, it's like weird levels of like suffering, and it's just like I mean, it seems interesting because of the fact that like I guess it's supposed to make the game feel more human, weirdly enough. But overall, like the narrative with Ellie and Abby is just like, it's so terrible. It's like, Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. I would, like I said, I would have to replay all this just so I can get my shit down to a T, because it's like the things I'm starting to remember is like making me fucking like just ugh. Ugh. But gameplay wise, it was actually kind of fun. Like gameplay wise, it was cool. But man, it feels like they screwed the pooch on that one. And then like when people had criticisms about it, either you had rabid fans come out and be like, "You shut up! You don't know what you're talking about. You're not a super game writer expert like Neil Druckmann." And then you had Neil Druckmann be like, "I love The Last of Us. Go play The Last of Us. I'm an auteur." It's like, shut up, Neil. You made one good game and then fucking fucked it up afterwards. God. All right, I need to stop with my rant because we have one more thing. But yeah, I'm in the mindset of just like, this did not really need a remaster. This could have just been an update or a, I don't know. I think it could have been called director's cut. You know, because the problem is remastered feels like, you know, the whole thing of it needed an upgrade somehow, while director's cut feels like, oh yeah, this is the intended way of the director of how he wanted the game to go. Like that would have been very different. But remastered is just like this whole thing of like, for a lot of people who was on the end of like, Bloodborne needed a remaster because that's a game that desperately needs a remaster, because even then, I think some, I don't know if it was a joke or if it's actually true, Bloodborne is the only PS4 game that has no PS5 improvement.
Right.
So yeah, remastered kind of leaves a bitter taste on those specific people's tongue, including myself, because it's like, here's the thing.
It should be called enhanced for sure. Yeah.
It either enhanced or director's cut, something completely different from remastered. It didn't
Yeah, I
need
think
that.
director's cut would be a better name for sure.
But you decided to call it remastered, and now people are pissed off about it. Except for the Raylos. Yeah, I don't know. There was a thing that I remember at the end of the review when I finished Last of Us Part 2 was that like there's a specific audience that like really love this game, and it's like the people who ship Kylo Ren and Rey from Star Wars and can't stop talking about them, and it's the Raylos because it's Kylo and Rey mixed in together, so it's Rey. Yeah, okay, you got it. But it's mostly the people who are like, I need this character that I enjoyed from the first game back into my life, no matter the way that they come back, and I need them back. And it's just like, for me, it's like, we could move past them. We can not stick around this, because that's my issue with Star Wars in general. Just to get on a little tangent about Star Wars, is that like we're sticking with these fucking people even though we're in a galaxy far away. Like it's just,
but now we're in a galaxy close to your heart.
Yeah, and then we got fucking Mandalorian season 2 where Luke comes back and he's like, "Hey guys, it's me, Luke. I'll take the baby." And then it's just like, fuck, I didn't want this. I didn't want this. We have. Video game franchises make me sad.
Off of that,
before I start to lose my fucking mind, let's talk about the Game
Awards. How
much
Chunch loves Infinity Ward.
Yeah,
the game you were just talking about, they made it, right?
What?
Infinity Ward made The Last of Us Part 2 now.
Is this a bit? Are we doing a bit?
What do you mean?
What do you mean Infinity Ward?
Infinity Ward makes bad games. So, Starfield.
Oh, that's something we forgot to talk about.
What?
Fucking Modern Warfare 3 is like the lowest rated game, the lowest rated Call of Duty.
I mean, is it?
It is. It has like a 56 on Metacritic.
Pretty bad though, so it is what it is.
I guess just to kind of like talk about that for a little bit before we move on to the next thing is that, like, yeah, it's unfortunate. God damn, I'm burping all over the place.
It's when you ask Sledgehammer to make your video game for you.
The problem is that like that was intended to be like a fucking DLC for Modern Warfare 2, but the
Yep.
period that they had to work on it was like it didn't make sense. They only had a year to work on it, and it's only like 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, well, they had said that they were going to give it a break. They said they were going to take a break from making Call of Duties for a year, and then they lied and didn't.
Yeah, thanks Blizzard, thanks Activision Blizzard, thanks Bobby.
I don't think it's Blizzard's fault. I think it's
No,
Activision.
well, I mean they're a joint group. It's Activision Blizzard, so
But I'm just saying,
I
like,
think
this was still happening when Activision was making their games.
I
by
think the person
themselves.
we should really blame is Bobby Kotick. That's it.
I don't like Bobby Kotick for
Exactly.
sure.
So that's who we should be blaming, Bobby Kotick.
Bobby Kotick.
But still, yeah, it's one of like the lowest rated Call of Duty games, and like it's really unfortunate because
Rightfully so.
playing that campaign for the first one is like it's pretty good. That campaign for the first game is really good, and then I heard the second is like dog shit, and then this one is like even worse. It's like how can you be worse than dog shit?
They don't have a lot of heart putting into their shit, man. Like, they
So-
tried really hard with one,
Mhm.
then they gave up. So, whatever. These companies don't give a fuck, man. They care. Yeah,
Well, the problem is that like they're just creatively bankrupt because it's like a fucking remake of a game that came out in 2008.
so I don't know the guy's name off the top of my head, but I've been watching this guy on YouTube for a week or two now. And he talks about his time at Blizzard. His dad used to.
Oh, is it the guy with long hair?
Yeah.
Yes.
He used to make the video. He used to make the CGI cinematics for Blizzard, and he was like, my dad touched every single one of them, all those cinematics and everything. And then he said, I worked there, and he was like, I wasn't getting fair pay, so I left. So like that's his whole story. Like there's sure there's more to it, definitely. But he pointed out that StarCraft 2 made less money than a mount, a $15 mount you could buy, sparkle pink rainbow unicorn or whatever from World of Warcraft. And that $15 mount made more money than the game StarCraft 2 itself brought in by just buying the base game. And that's insane. But it also makes sense to like when you had just said like they're bankrupt what's it called?
Creatively bankrupt.
Creatively bankrupt, but they don't care creatively. What
Yeah.
they care about is, okay, well, will Snoop Dogg sell, 40,000 units? Will it sell 100,000 units for his $20, $30, $50 skin?
Yeah.
Like that's what they care about. They don't care anymore about the game itself.
So this is the thing, is that like Call of Duty is such a big name. We've talked about this multiple fucking times. Is that like Call of Duty is such a big name that people will, of course, buy it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what fucking country that they're from. It's like if they're available, if Call of Duty is available in their country, people will fucking buy it. And it is, and that becomes the problem, is that like, I can fucking be on my high horse and be like, you stop giving company money because they keep rehashing the same shit, as I say while I just said before, I will pay the $10 to play the Last of Us Remastered. But it's true. People will pay because it's such a big fucking franchise. People will buy this fucking shit, and then it just makes this fucking shit a perpetual fucking cycle.
Yeah, I really want to point out again, because I've talked about this before, but if a company can just fucking make a shooter that feels just like Call of Duty, it's not that hard, man. It cannot be that hard to literally just produce the physical feel of how it feels to run with a gun, shoot with a gun, in that, because that's not real. Like that, none of that shit is how it really feels to run with a gun and shoot with a gun at all. It's a fake simulation in a video game. It can't be that hard for another company to reproduce that shit. Fuck, Battlefield is really close. You know what I'm saying? Like Battlefield feels almost exactly like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Somebody can do it.
But
People just don't want to. They're scared to take it on.
But I'm about
And
to say,
honestly, man, somebody could.
yeah. But Battlefield has a problem of being owned by EA, which they're doing the exact same shit of like churning this shit out. And
Yeah, I mean, the past 3 Battlefields have been terrible.
yeah, I like Battlefield 1.
1 was fun. As I said it, I was like, damn, 1 was good, yeah.
Yeah, 1 was good. V, I have no idea.
1 had a lot of fucking issues itself, though. There was a lot of clipping into things and shit, so.
It sucks too, because like I actually want to revisit 1 again, but from what I've been hearing is that the online is like filled with like cheaters, so it's like there's no point in playing the online or like the
Do you have it on
servers.
console or
I have it
PC?
on both, but I have
It
it
should be
through.
fine on console.
Yeah. Okay. I'll see. But
I pulled it up on console like maybe 6 months ago. It was fine.
yeah. But yeah, then there's Battlefield V, which is like I heard nothing good about it because it was basically unfinished. And then Battlefield, what is it, 2042? Is that what it is?
Yep, 2042.
Yeah, and then that one being a fucking mess as well, where that game was also unfinished to the point where they stopped what is it?
Working on it.
Any support? Yeah, any support on it.
So I have to say, I heard it's bad. I watched the video the other day. It looks really fun.
I mean, it was free on PSN, so I got it, so I might as well try it out at some point.
Yeah,
But
I was gonna say it is on the Game Pass, which I am getting like tomorrow.
what?
PC Game Pass.
Wow, can't believe you're trading in your PlayStation currently for Xbox. Cannot believe.
I just said PC Game Pass. So
Technically, that's what it is.
yeah, I'm excited though because there's a ton of games on there, and I'm like super stoked to hop in and
I have
try
to see.
put shit out.
I have to see what's on that library just to see if like there's anything interesting that I can recommend to you. Just from
Oh
that
yeah,
standpoint.
if you see anything, I mean, I could send you the link.
Yeah.
You can find it yourself, probably some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play Age of Empires.
I have all of those. Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta get through those. Uh-huh.
They are fun games. I do enjoy them.
RTS is really good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Call of Duty's gonna be this way for until Call of Duty's over.
Well, I think the thing is that like it's weird to talk about how like could a monopoly be the saving grace of a company, but we'll have to see if like Xbox does anything to change that because it's throughout the years of like Bobby Kotick's like whole like thing, it's like Call of Duty's just been in like a weird hole, but like I said, it's like it's one of their best selling games, and there's nothing they're gonna do to stop that moneymaker from making more money. You know, it's like the Assassin's Creed thing was also interesting, you know, kind of having that like parallel of Assassin's Creed was like coming out like every other year until like Ubisoft decided, all right, let's take a couple years off and then let's try to do something different. And they did with Assassin's Creed Origins, and like Origins was like a big fucking change. But then it started to become a cycle where like Assassin's Creed Odyssey was like Origins, and then Assassin's Creed Valhalla is like Odyssey but bigger, and it's just like they're doing the exact same thing. And then to the point where ironically enough they're like, all right, let's go back to the original shit and make like an Assassin's Creed game that's like much shorter and not as open world. And then now we have Assassin's Creed Mirage. So it's like it's so goofy that like, you know, they're going back to the basics, and that's what I feel like Call of Duty's gonna do again, where they're like, let's go back to World War II again.
Their World War II game was bad, by the way. I don't know if you remember that.
I kind of liked it. I have to play it
It's
again.
so bad.
I liked it. This is coming from somebody.
You can like it all you want. You can like it all you want.
This is coming from somebody that doesn't play fucking competitively from multiplayer shooters. All right, this is somebody that plays the campaign.
So are we wait, hold on. When you're saying you liked it, are you talking about you liked the story?
I like the story.
Okay, that's fine.
I played a little bit of the multiplayer stuff, and it was very arcadey, and I was like, that's not bad.
Everything from the spawn point of where you go inside of, because they were like pointing out they wanted to make like an open world area for you to hang out with people and interact, like a hub. That was super jank. I always had load times were terrible. Getting in there, I was clipping through shit. And then you go into the multiplayer. Again, load times were terrible. The UI was horrible. Oh my god. Trying to figure out how to get into a match, trying to figure out how to set up your fucking classes was terrible. It was just so many fucking screens for no reason. Holy shit, what a bad game. Like, that's why I was saying, are you sure Modern Warfare was the worst one? Because holy shit, World War II was fucking bad, dude.
Yep.
People hated Ghost.
Yep, it's actually lower than Ghosts.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Ghost was fine too, by the way. I don't know. People complain about that shit. I enjoyed that game.
It's funny you mention that because like I actually do want to like play the other Call of Duty games I've never played, but just play the single player, obviously, just to see how they are.
Fair.
but that's a me thing. This is coming from somebody that is willing to go through the entire library of Fast and Furious. So
Didn't you go through fucking
Rocky.
Halo 2? All those?
Yes, except for Infinite.
I'm actually, again, Xbox PC Pass, I'm gonna run through all the fucking Halos.
Yeah. Well, I still got to play the RTS Halos. That's the other thing I saw.
Yeah, they have those on there too, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm also dreading that because I really don't like RTSs.
Really, you don't like RTS?
They're fine. It's not something I enjoy playing constantly, or like going in. I don't know. I don't. It's really tough. Yes and no. I like Age of Wonders, stuff like that. That's fun, which is not really RTSy, but like, what's the word? The game Age of Empires. That's fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I liked the amount of that I was playing of Age of Empires. I still gotta like go back in, but I started playing RTSs like literally this year, so
yeah,
it's still new to me.
I'm excited to try Halo Wars. I think that'll be cool.
I still gotta get back into playing Halo Wars. Like, I really liked playing it. Yeah, it's just fun, but I'm debating whether or not to just go through it normally or play the legendary difficulty so I can get that hidden cutscene at the end, because that's like every Halo is like, you gotta play on legendary in order to get like the little tidbit at the end.
Maybe me and Chonch will 1v1 each other in Halo Wars.
In Halo. Wait, you said you're gonna go through all the Halos, right?
Yeah, let's go ahead and put like asterisks next to
okay,
that, because if 1 and 2 are bad, I might just hop into like 4.
No, because like I don't think there's a way to play Halo 5 on PC.
I think so.
Hmm.
It showed everything on the PC Pass. I'm pretty sure it's all there.
I think it's just like 1 through 4.
Is it literally called Halo 5?
Yeah, Halo 5 Guardians.
Is mouse working? This mouse is not working.
Wow.
There we go.
Wow.
That's cool. Razor's terrible. Don't buy Razor mice.
Haha! I bought Asus.
I'm actually gonna have to buy like a $10 mouse probably this week.
Wow.
Oh well, because I'm not gonna buy another $100 mouse. Fuck that.
Fair enough. Yeah, because like I played Halo 5 this year too, and the only way I could have played it was through Xbox One.
It doesn't make sense that you can't play it on PC because it's Microsoft. So why wouldn't you? Especially if you could play all of them, right?
I believe so through the Master Chief Collection, though. It's weird too because like Halo 4, not Halo 4, excuse me. Gears of War 4 is technically not. Well, no, it is on PC, but only through the Xbox Play Anywhere thing.
Interesting. It is not here.
Yeah.
It's literally called Halo 5, right?
Yeah.
And you said you can only play it through the Master Chief Collection?
No. You can't. It's not on there. It was separate.
Yeah.
Yeah, not on there, right? Yep.
Halo 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, so the Master Chief Collection only has 1 through 4, and then of course ODST, Reach. I'm trying to think what was the other one. I don't remember the other one, but Halo 5 was Xbox One, and then it just never got. I don't think I think with like the Xbox Play Anywhere, I don't think it's even on the availability for Xbox. It's so weird. Like Halo 5 is such a weird thing, but it's also kind of critical to the plot of what's going on in Halo, especially to the lead up of Halo Infinite. But essentially Halo 5 is like
Xbox One and Xbox Cloud Gaming release. Why isn't it on PC?
I don't know. Well, the thing is that Halo 5 was not well regarded. And I kind of liked it, weirdly enough.
Damn, they were asked. I guess they weren't asked, but somebody wrote up about it in this year, on July 27th. Currently, 343 Studios Industries have no plans to release Halo 5 anytime soon on PC.
Yeah.
That's so weird because you would think it would just go hand in hand.
You would think, yeah, but overall, like I think Halo 5 was like one of their, I want to say, worst regarded Halos, but like people just didn't like it.
Now I have to buy a Xbox, is what you're telling me.
Bro, that's why I'm so happy I have my Xbox One, because like I was just because when I went through like 1 through 4 and the rest of the other Halo games, I was just like, how the fuck am I gonna play 5? And I'm like, oh yeah, I still have an Xbox One. I'm gonna check GameStop to see if they. Oh yep, $5. It's like can't can't say no to that. So I got it for $5, and I was like, all right, let's play Halo 5, but with the legendary difficulty and see how it goes. And yeah, from what I remember, I didn't hate it, but it's like I think the only thing I didn't like was obviously with like the PC version of the Master Chief Collection is like you can adjust the FOV. That was the only thing about the playing the game on console is just like you can't change the FOV. So yeah, but I enjoyed it from what I played, but it was kind of goofy because of the fact that like the story is like Master Chief really sad about his girlfriend Cortana, and it's like, yeah, yeah. But man, like not thinking about it, I really liked. I liked Halo 2. Halo 2 was really good. I have to think of like a ranking for like the Halo games I've played thus far, but yeah, I should probably play Infinite at some point. Um we'll see. We'll see. I'll let you know once I beat Infinite somehow.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna play Infinite. I guess that sucks. I don't know. It says you can do it through Xbox Cloud Gaming, but I guess it's only on Xbox, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Cuz like what did I do? I think like for Forza, cuz this is the thing that Xbox is so fucking bizarre. Cuz they have the play anywhere thing. And they basically have the tag of like, oh, you can play it on PC as well. So like Forza Horizon 3 and 4, you can play on PC, but only on the Xbox app. So that's how I'm able to play through Forza Horizon 3. And yeah, like I mentioned before, like with Gears of War 4, is that like if you bought it digitally, you basically have the ability to play it both on PC and Xbox. It's very bizarre. I'm really hoping that they port the Gears of War games to PC.
They don't have them on here either.
Uh,
They have the first one. I know that.
I believe the first one is available for PC. I think.
So on the pass, there's Gears of War 1 and 4. Oh, sorry, 1, 4, and 5.
1, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
2 and
sense.
3 are not here.
Yeah, that makes sense because I think the remastered also came out on PC. The Gears of War remake remastered thing. Yeah.
I still actually have my Gears of War 1 PC disc from when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did mention that. So yeah, have fun with Xbox PC Pass.
Yeah, I mean, besides that, there's a bunch of other games that are really fun to play. Besides, like the
Play
straight from Xbox.
Starfield. Play
Yep,
Fallout.
I'm very excited to try it.
Play Fallout New Vegas.
No, I already own that.
Play
Fuck that
Doom Eternal. Play Wolfenstein. Did you ever play
Starfield's on
Wolfenstein?
there.
Huh? What?
Lies of P is on there.
Oh yeah, it's on Game Pass. Yeah. Play
The man
Lies of
who
P.
erased his name is on there.
Yep, Yakuza.
A lot of good stuff on here. Dead Space the remake. That's probably the first thing I'm touching, by the way. Because if that gets taken off, I want to play it before it does.
Just because I think I mentioned this to you that like the remake on PC is a little iffy because of like some shader compilation shit that's going on with it, but that's an EA thing rather than an Xbox thing.
I'm not worried about it. I'm sure it'll play fine.
Okay.
And if it doesn't, then I'll figure it out.
I have to look at that list and see if I can recommend some stuff to you, but that's besides the point. Moving on. Let's talk about the Game Awards coming up. Coming up, baby. All right. Let's talk about the nominees. Did you vote for this at all or no?
No.
I did. I voted for some of it, not all of it.
Anything good?
They missed out on a couple of other shit because I'm surprised System Shock Remake is not here, like, at all, as far as I've seen.
System's been shocked.
Yeah, because that's a really good, like, thing. It's a very good game. All right, so let's talk about the categories and the nominations. All right, for Game of the Year, Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I feel like, personally, I think it's probably going to be Baldur's Gate 3.
I wouldn't be surprised if Zelda wins, so.
Yeah, but that's a basic bitch answer. But still.
Why? It's a great game. Why?
I don't know. Zelda. But I think Baldur's Gate 3, because a lot of people have been playing it, and like from what I've seen, it looks really, really good. But I haven't played it, so I don't really know. I can't really tell you. I've only played RE4, Spider-Man 2, Tears of the Kingdom, and still going through Alan Wake 2. But yeah, that's just I don't know about Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I do want to play that, to be honest.
Others like it a lot.
I really do like that new art style that they're going with, but still.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, so best game direction: Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Mario, and Zelda. So those are the nominations. Best adaptation. So these are for shows/movies: Castlevania Nocturne, Gran Turismo, The Last of Us, the Super Mario Brothers movie, and Twisted Metal, which I forgot came out. Did you remember that the Twisted Metal show came out?
Yeah.
I forgot. Best narrative: Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, Final Fantasy 16, and Spider-Man 2. Can I give you my vote for what I chose for best narrative? Or do you want to guess?
Not good.
No, you guess.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah, you got it. You're right. Final Fantasy 16. Best art direction: Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Tears of the Kingdom. I'm really hoping Hi-Fi Rush for this one, but that's just me. Because yeah, that game came out this year, and that's also that's a game I recommend to play on Game Pass.
Gotcha.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush, yeah.
Let's see. Best score and music: Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, and Tears of the Kingdom. Best audio design: Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man 2, and RE4. Best performance: Ben Starr from Final Fantasy 16, Cameron Monaghan, Monaghan, I think it's Monaghan. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba, Cyberpunk 2077, Melanie Laird, Alan Wake 2, Neil Newborn, Baldur's Gate 3, and Yuri Lowenthal, Spider-Man 2. Innovation in accessibility: Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, and Street Fighter 6. Games for impact: A Space for the Unbound. I don't know what these games are. I think these are like smaller indie stuff. Yeah, they're smaller indie stuff. Chance of Sinar, Goodbye Volcano High, Chia, Terra Nil, and Venba. Best ongoing game: Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. Best community support: Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, and No Man's Sky. Don't they have the best community? Destiny 2? That's right, they do.
Sure.
Best independent game: Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder. Best debut indie game: Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower, Venba, and Viewfinder. Best Mobile Game: Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, Honkai Star Rail, Hello Kitty, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Monster Hunter Now, and Terra Nil. Best VR and AR Game: Gran Turismo 7, Humanity, Call of the Mountain, Resident Evil Village VR Mode, and Synapse. Best Action Game: Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Remnant 2. Best Action Game / Adventure Game: Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and Tears of the Kingdom. Best RPG: Baldur's Gate 3, FF16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, Starfield. Best Fighting Game: God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery, and Street Fighter 6. Best Family Game: Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, Mario Bros. Wonder. Best Sim Strategy: Advance. Oh yeah, I forgot that came out this year. Advance War 1 and 2, City Skyline 2, Company of Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, Pikmin 4. Best Sports / Racing: EA Sports FC, F1 2023, Forza Motorsports, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, Turbocharged, and The Crew Motorfest. Best Multiplayer: Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Most anticipated game: FF7 Rebirth, Hades 2, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8. Content Creator of the Year: Iron Mouse, People Make Games, Quackity, Spreen, and Cypher PK.
Oh, Quackity deserves that, by the way.
Best Esports Game: Counter-Strike 2, Dota, League of Legends, PUBG, Mobile, or Valorant.
Valorant's gonna win it.
Best Esports Athlete: Faker, Zywoo, Demon 1, Hydra, Ruler, and Imperial Howl.
I mean,
it's always gonna go to Zywoo.
Faker.
Best Esports Team: Evil Geniuses, Fnatic, Gaiman, JD Gaming, Team Vitality. Best Esports Coach: Potter, Zonic, Gunba, QT Quiz, and Hom. Best Esports Event: 2023 League of Legends World Champions, Blast TV Paris Major 2023, Evo baby, the International Dota 2 Championship 2023, or Valorant Champions 2023. It's gonna be Evo. It's Marvel, baby. Marvel. Yeah. So those are the nominations. Those are the categories. I hope Last of Us Part 2 wins all of them. Do you remember that? Fucking
No.
the Game Awards where like Last of Us Part 2 came out and like every fucking nomination and every award went to The Last of Us Part 2.
I don't remember.
That became a joke. Yeah, it was very bad. It was really bad. But still, yep. So that's it for the news. We do it. We did it. We the news. But yeah. So I guess we'll see each other in the next 2 weeks. I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. And yeah. Have fun with Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, man. All right. Bye-bye.